Hey guys, okay, so we had some technical issues going on. So what I'm going to do is to see Andy just kind of disappear from the screen there for a second, and I'm just going to get this green screen sorted out. There we go, here I am. Right, okay. So what I want to do is and I'm going to get Andy to help me out as my support team, who's working in this late night. So thank you, Andy. Okay, yeah, so what I need to do is I need to get the link from this sent over to my mobile. So if you can find the link for me, like the YouTube link, which I should be able to do myself actually. And then I can get that link and change it over on Facebook.
So currently it's on your old
So it shouldn't be.
Currently it is. It's connected to your old live.
Well, this is.
Your link to your on your Facebook is yes.
So if I go to it's connected to the old live. So what I need to do.
Remove that one.
Yep.
And put a new one in.
Yes, but
Or
that's.
at least update the link.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I need to get the link that's going on now. So hi guys, just wait for more people to come in, and yeah, we can start moving things about. So I want to go onto there. No, I want to go onto YouTube. Right, so this is the link, and I'm going to. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Want to open that. Mate, what we're doing? What's going on? There we go. Share. Copy link. And then go into Facebook. Go to. I'm sure Facebook's probably not the most important one, but let's delete him anyway.
Can you edit it?
Put him.
Edit it instead of just deleting it.
Alright, that's clever. Clever clocks. Public. There isn't an edit button, bro.
No.
Edit post, there you go. Remove link. Paste. Save. So while that's saving and hopefully going out to all my friends, I also want to go on to the Theta group, who are awesome. Balle balle, balle 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 balle, balle balle, balle 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 balle, balle balle. Terenala nanachina, Sony, terenala nanachina. Okay, so I was on there earlier actually. So thank you for bearing with me, guys. Those of you that are on here, and I do have a viewer. Or is it me? Okay, so pow. We're doing right, here we go. Just to say, here we go. Edit post. This feels like some long way of doing it. See, it's not allowing me to edit it. Look, oh, it's there. That's why. So, guys, what I'm looking to do today is just to look at some things that have been of interest online at the moment. You guys may have seen that. The crypto hack that's just happened recently, whereby I'll show you. I'll bring it up on the screen and we can have a look. There you go. I'll leave you guys just to have a read of that, which is quite disconcerting, to say the least. And I want to go onto my Discord. And I want to go to my Discord. And just show. Hey, Nyron's online. I hope no one can have a visit of us. Okay, and I don't think Rocky will mind if I go into the Neverland text and I wonder if I can edit my message. Edit message, and there we can. This is clever stuff, this, isn't it? It's a good job I thought about this editing, lark. Take credit for that. Paste. There we go. So now you guys can see on the Neverland text on Rocky's group, and also, yeah, the Theta group online with the Theta guys. So, yeah, we are here. We are here, guys. So after all of that hard work, I said that the stream would start at 7, and 20 to 8, we are now live and ready to go. So, yep, I've got a Guinness here, which I'll be opening in a short while. But for the time being, I'll just go into a little bit of interest that I found on the BBC News, and it is about Krakonosh, how hackers are using gamers to become crypto rich. Gamers are being dubbed into helping hackers become rich after downloading gamers laced with hidden malware. Thanks a lot, Andy.
No worries, mate.
Versions of Grand Theft Auto 5, NBA, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 are being given away free in forums. But hidden inside the code of these games is a piece of crypto mining malware called Krakonosh, which secretly generates digital money once the gamers are being downloaded. Criminals have made more than $2 million, which is a £1.4 million, with the scam, researchers say. So yeah, and if you look at the victim rate, the Philippines, they're at the number 1 place, but down at number 7 is the United Kingdom. We've got the United States had 11,800 victims, and yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy stuff. Quite easy to become a victim of this sort of thing. So yeah, that's it. Just shows that safety is really important. You know, make sure that you have your 2-factor authentication enabled. One of my guys that are on the Discord, he mentioned that to me the other day, saying, you know, make sure that that's the case with yourself. I said it is. And I also have the authentication on my Apple device as well. So yeah, this is crazy stuff. Okay, so moving on. Just talking about the economics of the world and the way things are right now is we look on here. Just one of the other things I wanted to talk about is just about cost of building materials. Obviously, because of COVID affecting the world right now, people are at home. They want their homes to be improved. And due to demand and supply not being able to be met, that means that merchants and the people that supply to the merchant suppliers, can pretty much demand the price that they want to. And it was like that for myself today. I had a customer, and I put them up 50% today, and they said okay, and like there was no haggling, there was no question about it. They just accepted the fact that the price was going up, and they accepted it. And yeah, I was expecting a little bit of resistance, but they had no problem with it. Everybody is expecting things to go up. Why? Because of inflation. But why has inflation happened? As we go down the pecking order of reasons why these things are happening in the economy, and that is down to the fact of the stimulus money being printed off by the banks. Now, those of you that are my regular viewers will have seen my video on lessons of the license to print from the banks. In fact, if we go to YouTube, you'll see that there is that's the live area uploads. If you go down to the video, there you go. This one here that I've clicked. It's tutorial, economy lesson, and bank's license to print. And the fact is that the US, from my last look, had already printed off, and that is out of nothing, $15 trillion. 15 billion, sorry, dollars. And no, it was trillion. It was trillion. And the UK, I think it was five trillion pound. It was a trillion or billion. That's quite a massive difference there. Let's have a look. So I can't remember what it was. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole now for you guys, and you can guys see me kind of on the fly. Let's just do a little Google search on that while things are happening. Hey, just by the way, if you guys have got anything, hey, BG Diz Gaming, nice to see you go. Thanks for coming in and being a viewer today, BG Diz Gaming. Hey, this guy you were speaking about earlier, about this Krakentosh hackers, this guy BG Diz Gaming, he is an avid gamer and incredibly fast reflexes when it comes to things like Call of Duty and their games alike. He's an amazing guy. Right, anyway, I was going down a rabbit hole with you guys and looking at the stimulus money, but I just needed a Google search. So back to where we were. Let's go on to Google, where we were. And USA stim you less total printed. Yeah, so we're going into the trillions, saying that 1.9 trillion wouldn't be enough, but that was back in March. So we've got three. It was definitely in the trillions. So that was just talking about the stimulus, but it wasn't just stimulus for the smaller companies. We're talking about the overall. So it was definitely trillion. Yeah, it was 15 trillion in. There you go, 15 trillion, and counting global stimulus, and that was in May 2020. Yeah, so it was trillion. Yeah, I was right. So that was that was that's the global stimulus. But like I said, that's over a year ago now, and yeah, that's over a year ago now. So that's 12 or 13 months ago. So I've had a hard day's work today as well. So yeah, so we've got 15 trillion in the USA. Then we did 5 trillion over in Great Britain. So a lot of money being printed off and given out for nothing. But I was thinking, right? Let's say that you had a Rolls Royce car, right? And Rolls Royce came to you. No, let's say Mercedes is better. You're in a Mercedes garage, and you've been an avid purchaser of Mercedes for quite some time, and they have a special visit whereby one of the CEOs comes along to look at the branch, but you don't know that. You're just browsing around the cars, and one of the chief sales managers goes over to the director and says, "Do you know that guy over there speaking about you? That guy, every 3 years for the last 20, 30 years or whatever it might be, maybe it's 40 or 50 years if you're an older guy, he's been coming in here that long, and every time he buys a new car." So the CEO goes over to you, and he introduces himself, and he says, "Listen, I've just been told by the sales director that you have been an avid customer of ours for many, many, many years and purchased a lot of BMWs. Because I'm a BMW driver. I purchased a lot of Mercedes. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you a deal. And this deal is that if you buy this car, there's only ever going to be 20 of them made. Therefore, if you keep this one in the garage after you've used it for a while, keep it in the garage, it will bring you back incredible returns in a few years, because there's only 20 of them going to be made. Yeah, only 20 of these cars." So you're like, yeah, but how much is it going to cost me? And the CEO goes, well, they're actually 250 grand, but because you are who you are, I just want to give it to you for 100 grand. You know, wow, thanks very much. Let's crack on with that. I'll have that Mercedes. Yeah, thank you very much. So now you've got this £100,000 Mercedes that really should be, you know, £250,000 or something like that. But you bought it on the premise that there would only be 20 made. And you go about it, and you know, you go around and you show your friends and you show your family this nice new car, and you're quite comfortable in the fact that there's only 20 of these made, and you're going to be rich one day from this Mercedes, right? Arguably, you may already be rich if you can afford £100,000 for a car, but to others, maybe not. Anyway, you find out that Mercedes have put that same car on the manufacturer's line and produced 90,000 of the same car. And not only that, but they're retailing at 70 grand. You've just bought it at 100 grand on the CEO's promise that there would only be 20 of them made and that one day it'd be worth a load of money. What's going on? What's going on? And that's the situation that in this illustration. Now I want you to think about what I've just said and then look at fiat currency. Okay, so you get a fiat currency note. In my case, if I pull out a £20 note, and you'll see written on it, it won't focus in. It says, I promise to pay the bearer the sum on £20 upon demand. Okay, so that's a promise made by the government to us that they promise to pay us £20 on demand. And that's it. That's what it's a promise, and that's what the word fiat currency comes from. So every country has its own bank, every country has its own currency, and each country's currency is either stronger or weaker compared to another country. So what ends up happening is they're now printing off cars. Yeah, so in this illustration, which is only going to be 20 cars, or only going to be so many £20 notes or $20 or whatever, and now they're printing off or making more cars. So what's that going to do to the value of your car when you come to want to sell it? Well, the car that you thought was going to be a £250,000 car that one day might be able to be sold for £1 million is actually being sold on the market for 70, which means you'll be lucky to get 30 for it in 3 years. You might even only get 25 grand for it. Not £1 million, and it's certainly not worth £100,000, but you were promised it. And that's what the governments have done. They've promised you £20, but they're printing off, or they're making cars, they're printing off what we've just looked at as 15 trillion in the US dollars, 5 trillion of the GBP, yeah? And then this is now the situation that we're finding ourselves in, that the cost of building materials has gone up in some places more than 3 times. 3 times. Those of you that are viewing this, maybe you might have had some experience in building, but to do a stud wall, if you're going to be a builder, which I do a little bit of property maintenance, you get CLS. It's Canadian Lumber Standard, I think it stands for, but you get CLS. And B&Q, our local in the UK, our B&Q is our main sort of retail shop that plasterers will go to and the like, and they would buy their CLS, and it's been going now for about £2.20, £2.30 a length for the last at least 2 or 3 years that I can recall. And now it's been sold in wicks, which I've just found out, for £4.80. £4.80 a length of standard Colombian CLS. Which is nuts. It's crazy. And why? And the reason why is because people are now spending more, and the companies now can afford to put the price up to wherever they want to put it up to, and they need to keep their bills going, because everything else is going up. Gas, electric, your water rates, your council tax, your mortgage interest rates. Eventually something's going to have to budge and give, because it can't continue the way that it is. So that's just a little lesson in economics, and that illustration about the car, I think, is really tight towards how the government at the moment are printing off all of this money and keeping the companies afloat. Now, if we go onto the charts and I bring up SPY, if it's up there, I'm not sure. Hang on a sec. Yeah, this SPY here, this is like a smaller version of the S&P 500. It's the EFTs. Um, so obviously, so it's it's a lesser price, but this is a great tool just to look at the economy, where we are, where we were, where we're heading, and all the rest of it. And here is where the COVID dump happened, right? Okay, so it took. If I just get my my little, it took from the top of there. If you look down here on the you got the y-axis, and if you and the x-axis, if you look down here, it tells you the dates. So if I go to that date there, which at the bottom of here, just one where you'll see me flickering around, it says there that the date there of the COVID dump was on the 20th of February, when the stocks of the S&P 500, which is kind of like the top 500 companies of the United States, and really the world, because the United States rule. Yeah, so you got the top of there, that was on the 20th of February 2020, right? And then if we measure to the point where it went down and hit its bottom, it was 21 days. See, it says 21 bars there underneath. Well, this is a daily chart, so each one of those candles or red and green little lines represents 21 days, right? And then by the time that we came back up to where we were, really pretty much apart from 2 or 3%, it was only 75 days, which was less than 3 months. So by less than 3 months, we'd already made back the money that we'd lost. The money, the fiat currency, right? The Mercedes Benz, we'd already made that back, and we'd already started making more and more money. But this is the question you need to ask yourselves, right? Is if it during these like 2 weeks, do you remember seeing, like in China, you had them spraying the streets with those chemicals, and you had pictures of everybody in hospitals where, hey Charlie, good to see you, bro. Yeah, in hospitals where they were, on life support machines and all the rest of it. So the whole world had been thrown into complete anarchy and distress, as we know, because we've all been living through it. But as all these companies were closing down, and let me just tell you something just before I carry on, right, is the top 5 companies of the S&P 500, so there's 500 companies there that make it up, pretty much. The top 5 companies represents, try and get this, 95%. So the top 95% of the strength relies on the top 5 companies of the S&P 500. So if I bring up now, so we've done that stimulus now. If I put S&P 500, now just by the way, I want you to just have a guess before I bring it up, right? I want you to have a guess at the top 5 companies, because you'll know them straight away. You guess them? Apple, there's a surprise. Amazon, so there's a surprise. Facebook, there's a surprise. Microsoft, there's a surprise. And shares here. Isn't that interesting, right? So we've got Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. They're the top 5 companies, and they make up 95% of the world's wealth, right? So these guys are the leading companies of the world, right? They couldn't cope. They couldn't continue. Microsoft couldn't continue. Apple couldn't continue because nobody could buy them. The workforce ended up going down. Everywhere just went into complete anarchy and lockdown. So where were they getting their money from? When we go back over to the charts and look at SPY, where was this money coming from that was making the companies go up? That was making all of this company go. It wasn't people. It wasn't money it wasn't money that was putting the stocks up, that people were giving to the companies to make the stock rise up. All this to make America look great was the American bank printing off money out of nothing, out of thin air, like making Mercedes cars, making Mercedes cars, and it was going up and pushing the price up. But it was all based on what? What was it based on? It was based on a promise that I promised to pay the bearer the sum on the demand. Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just fake fluff. It's just money out of a computer sent from the Bank of America to the Apple, etc. Yeah, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google. And that's what happened. And it was only really since sort of like just recently that the actual stocks genuinely are going up, not by stimulus, but by the fact that when you look at those companies again, in actual fact, Amazon are doing really well because people are at home. I'm certainly using Amazon a lot more than I was doing. Facebook, meh. Microsoft, meh. Apple, yeah, I got a new phone. So yeah, yeah, that's it. That's what I just wanted to say on that. Right, okay, so I promised you guys that I would be doing some technical analysis, but I just wanted to give you a little inkling about when we're looking at technical analysis, we need to take into consideration that we're not just looking at lines on a chart, at graphs, at oscillators, at moving averages, or anything else that might seem daunting or confusing, right, on these charts. We need to look at economics, and that's what this is all about. We're just looking about what's going on in the background, what's going on in the world, that we don't see because we are looking after our families as parents, or looking after our families as sons, as fathers, mothers, daughters, and children to our parents too. So we're just getting on with our lives, and we don't really want to be looking at this. We don't think this has any bearing on us, but it does, and it is really sensible to keep an eye on this, because this is the sort of thing that's going to make us be shrewd and be able to be shrewd in our moves, whether we decide to buy a house now or to sell a house now, to look at moving over to a 5-year fixed interest rate or something, because the interest rates might go through the roof. Well, you're not going to know any of these things without understanding economics and where they are. Just to say, I've realised that I've got 6 viewers, and I really appreciate you guys signing in and having a listen. Thank you very much. Be happy to write anything that you want me to look at in the comment below, and I'm going to sign into that chat actually while I'm here, but it means we open up a new browser, which I'm going to do for you, and pull this over to here. So I have a new browser open, which is great. I can now say hello. I'm just going to do that just to say hello, and I love you all. Boom, there you are. Okay, so that's it. Top S&P 500. It's interesting, isn't it? I find that really interesting anyway. Those of you that weren't here earlier, just to let you know that cracking Nosh, how hackers are using gamers to become crypto rich. It says that gamers are being dubbed into helping hackers become crypto rich after downloading games laced with hidden malware. This is on the BBC News, by the way. But hidden inside of the code of the games is pieces of crypto mining malware called Krakenosh, which secretly generates digital money once the game has been downloaded. Criminals have made more than $2 million, which is 1.4 million, with this scam, researchers say. This is GTA 5. And look, we've got the United States at number 5 and number 7, number 6, sorry, number 7 is the UK, Poland, India, and Brazil, and the Philippines. Brazil, the Philippines, Poland, United States. I can never do a Yankee accent. Anybody else can't do it. I always end up doing an Australian accent every time that I try and do anything United States related. But yeah, India. I can speak Punjabi. मैं Punjabi बोल सकता. So शायद मैं गोरा but Punjabi दिल विच है ना. So ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਦਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ comments ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ Punjabi ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. Okay, so, but I'm guessing nobody is Punjabi who's watching this, so you guys probably didn't understand any of that. Let's get on to something cool. Right, let's look at Bitcoin. Now, don't be worried about these lines. They are all junk for now. For you guys that are sort of signing in and wanting to know what the situation and what the crack is. But suffice to say that just looking at a little bit of technical analysis with regard to Bitcoin is that there is a situation going on here, which I noticed the other day when I released a live stream, that we have this trend line that seems to be respected going all the way back to when we had the COVID dump, which was just here. This is where I drew it. That was the COVID dump just here. So that was the price which came down of Bitcoin. So one Bitcoin was The low was £3,858. It says L just there. See that L? When I go onto the candle, when I go onto the day, that green day just there, the L says £3,858. Is it pound? No, it's dollars. So dollars, right? And then there was lots of people selling around this sort of price here, which is like, you can see the price up on this axis here. So around here, the price ended up getting sold, following up that trend line, and then that same trend line got respected, and it got lots of sellers up here. And now we've gone all the way up, and that Bitcoin that was down there, I was telling all my friends and family, guys, trust me, just buy a little bit of Bitcoin, just buy a little bit. When it was $3,000, 3,000, it went all the way up to 65 grand. $65,000 for a $3,000 investment. And just to let you guys know that I'm not invested in Bitcoin, okay, is that Bitcoin isn't something that you need to buy a whole Bitcoin. So for example, you know, how do I get money? And you turn around and say, well, you can get money, you can get a pound. Just go around the town centre and walk around. What? And I'll find a pound. Well, you probably won't find a pound, but you'll find a lot of pennies. What are pennies? Well, pennies make up a pound. You look after the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves, man, I used to say. So, yeah, so like a pound can be split down into pennies, and £100 can be split down into, 10 lots of £10 notes, or can be split into £100 or 1,000 pennies, yeah? One Bitcoin can be split down into 8 decimal places. Well, 7 decimal places plus the 1. So that's eight zeros essentially. So you can have 7 zeros and then a 1, which probably isn't even 1p. Let's have a look. So let's go. How do I word this? How much Bitcoin BTC is, how much Bitcoin is, I don't know, does this even make sense how I'm wording this? Let's go into dollars. I'm going to say, sorry guys, how much Bitcoin is, I'm going to use a dollar, is $1. $1. There you go. So this is it. So it would be 0.0031 and then 000. That would be it. So if we change, and that's $100, right? So if we change that to $1, there we go. That's what we want. That's what we want. Then you turn around and find that $1 is 0.000031. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So yeah. So $1 won't even make up. So we'll have to go down even smaller. Let's go to 1 pence. So I'll just change that just because I'm in the UK and I just want to be a little bit more close to home, because I think most of my viewing audience would be United Kingdom viewing audience. So United States, what we got? Well, what we're calling ourselves, Britain, United Kingdom, United States. I can't even find my own country. Bangladesh was there. If Bangladesh was there, then the UK's got to be there. United Arabs, United States. So we're not the United Kingdom anymore. So okay, let's go to Britain. What am I doing wrong here, guys? Come on. There's got to be something. Let me know in the comments. What are we called in the United Kingdom? If we're not, maybe because we're not in the Euro anymore, they've decided to just throw us out of this as well. England? I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Why can I not find my own country? The country of my birth. What have we got? Charlie, question. How do you trade Bitcoin on a US able pounds? How do you trade Bitcoin it to usable pounds? Ah, okay. So the way that you do it, my friend, I'll come to that in one moment. I'll answer that question, but I can't find the UK there. That's ridiculous. All right, let's just go with a dollar. So 0.01. That's 1 cent, right? That's the smallest decimal place that you can get in a Right, so 1 cent is 1 to the power of 7, so it won't do it. It won't go down to 1 cent. That's interesting. Let's try 10 cents. There you go. And that's okay. Let's try 9. 0, 9. 0 spanner. 8, 7, 4, 5, 6. No, doesn't want to do it. 4. There you go. So 4 cents is as low down as we can go, and that is equal to 0.00000012 of a Bitcoin. Now that is interesting, but it also means that we don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. We can buy 12p or 4 cents of Bitcoin. We can buy a pound of Bitcoin. We can buy £20 of Bitcoin, but it will only work out at, if we end up turning around and saying let's buy $20, then it's 0.00062 of a Bitcoin. And the way that we word it in the crypto world and the crypto language is it is 0.00062 satoshis, or the reality of it would be it is 62,000 satoshis, because that's how to work it out. Is $20 is equal to 62,000 satoshis. It's currency, not country. Is it? Was it? In which case it would be GBP. Nope. No, my friend, it's not on there. But yeah, I see it says dollar there. You're right. I didn't twig that. Yeah, but we are the GBP. We are the GBP. Great British Pound, and it's not on there. The GBP isn't on there. Maybe they think we're part of the euro still. Yeah, okay. Obviously they don't like England. English money. They don't want our money. That's fine. We're printing a load of it off anyways, and it's going to be worthless very shortly. Okay, forget it. But there you go. So those of you that don't understand Bitcoin, hopefully you got a little bit more of an understanding now that that you don't need 1 Bitcoin, and 1 Bitcoin is divisible by to the power of 8 places. Pound. He wants me to look at pound. Is pound there? A B P P A B C D E F G H L M N O P. Pound sterling. Boyakasha! You're the man. Well, you both are. Between Crypto Trader and Charlie Penny, we have managed to find, I think I might need to do a 0.01. So there you go. So it's not. Yeah. Well done, guys. That's funny. Do you know what? There you go. So it seems that 4p in Great British Pound is as low as we can go. So yeah, thank you very much, Crypto Trader, and thank you very much, Charlie Penny. Yay, ayah, boyakasha. So that's it, really. You don't need a whole Bitcoin. That's basically what I'm saying. So if you were to buy now, let's say £100 of Bitcoin, and we go over to the charts and we look at where we are now, which is about here on this trend line that I was talking about, and we go up to the all-time highs that we were at a few weeks back, you would make 100% of your money. And most crypto enthusiasts are very, very confident that we are going to go and reach new all-time highs in the coming month to 2 months. And we're getting a reversal now and are heading back up the way. It's not 100%. I'm not a financial advisor like I've put in the description, but it does look that way. So if you do decide to put £30 of cryptocurrency, buy £30 of Bitcoin, then all being well, we should have 100% of £30, which is £30. Add your £30 to your 130% that you've made. You've now got yourself a bag of £60, and it's only cost you 30, and you should do that in a matter of just a few months. If you don't, and we end up coming down to lows, then it's just a matter of time until we get the next all-time high, where we're talking thousands of percent. And I can show you that from the COVID dump, which we've just had if I bring my ruler out here, this indicator here is a ruler. I go from the low, from where we were there, to the high, where we are just there. If you'd have bought it, then it would have gone up by 19,000. So 2,000%. So if you'd have put 30 quid in back then it would have gone up 2,000%. 2,000% of 30 quid is a lot of money. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open my Guinness, which is still cold from the fridge. So one moment, please. And it has a widget in it. A widget it has got. So I'm hoping that I don't get absolutely caked. Oh. Now it's been a long time since I've had a drink. So I'm going to just let that just settle for a minute. And then I'm going to... In fact, no, I'm not. Excuse me, just... Oh, one moment. I have done a really hard day's work today. And I don't work. But today I did. And, yeah. It's, it was good. It was good to be out there. Good to be out there in the sun and all the rest of it. Right, what about 1 Bitcoin to GBP and divide it to the power of 8? 10 to the power of 8. Let's have a look. So you want me to go 1 Bitcoin. I don't know if I can do it on here. It'd have to be on my calculator. So 1... Here we go, so there's that. We'll stick 1 Bitcoin. It should do it automatically backwards, which is that, and then divide that. So let's get my calculator out. So 100% of that, which is obviously the figure that it is, 918, and then divide that to the power of 8. Is 2,864 pound. Is basically 10% of 1 Bitcoin. Is that what it is that you're asking, crypto trader? And also, would you mind sticking in there? Do I know you on another channel or somewhere else? Are you Rook Trade? Are you known by something else that I might know you on? I'm just looking at your logo. If it's someone that I might know, and I don't recognize your logo. So yeah, do I know you? What else have we got? Okay, so we've got 5 people viewing. Thank you for signing in, guys. Do love you all and really appreciate your support. That is the value of 1 Satoshi. Yeah, the thing is, it won't go down that far. So you got a 1 Bitcoin, which we decided was going to be 22,000. Excuse me, one moment, please. 22,918. And then that's 1% of it, which is £229. I'm going to do this. So that's 1% of that. No, I can't. Brain's not working. Oh, come on, get this brain working. 222,918 pound divided by we said 0.00 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 equals. That can't be that. Yeah, it says error. I don't. Yeah, it says error. So it won't do. It won't go down. Which is why I think that's why that's glitching out. It won't go down to that much. 22,918. Watch the viewers start dropping off, thinking this is boring stuff. I've got a calculator. So that's got 22,918 divided by 0.000001234567 equals, yeah, it's errored out. So I don't think it even goes down to 1 because it's saying 2298 and it's not a scientific calculator, so it's just erroring out on me, so I can't do it. There you go. 29,900 divided by that is that. So Crypto Trader is saying that it is. That's why it's erroring out. So one Satoshi, or one. Hang on a minute, guys. Stick this in here and make that a little bit easier to read. Paste. I'm gonna set. Copy and grab you and paste you in there and turn around and go so no, yeah, that's better. So it's 100 million. So 100 million satoshis. So if we get 22,900 and divide that by 100 million, that should tell us how many pennies, or how much one satoshi is. And he's saying that's equal to 0.000229 GBP per satoshi. And what I was doing is I was just sticking the decimal points in so that we can see how many it was, because all those zeros just make me go, what? I don't know if that's a billion or a million or what, but you can see that that's 100 million. 1 million is obviously 6 zeros. So there you go. One there. That's it. That was pretty simple when you look at it like that. However, the Bitcoin transfer fee will be higher, so not recommended. That's true. Now, going on to Charlie's question there about Bitcoin and how to get hold of it and take it from Bitcoin and put it into pound. And there's an app on your phone called Coinbase. And let's see if we can do something funky here, because I don't want to bring my Coinbase up on my computer, because it'll have passwords and everything on there at the minute, right? But if let me see if I can see myself in this viewing box just here. Let's just minimize you. Crypto Trader, thanks for your support there, mate. That was good thinking. So here you got the app. All right. And it says that I have £1 and 6p in my Coinbase account, my normal Coinbase account. And in here I've got a portfolio. Do I own anything? Do I actually own anything in there? Algorand, I've got $12 of Algorand. So 12 pence of Algorand. Right, so in Algorand I've got 12p. I don't know if you can see that. But there is 12p. It says 12p there, and it says trade. So you press trade. And yeah, it's saying it's got a little yeah, so you press trade. And then it says, go the other way. It says we've got to buy, sell, or convert. And if you go to the convert button, it says convert Algorand and then into. So Algorand is over this side here. So just there is the Algorand. And then here it says Bitcoin. So if we go into where it says Bitcoin, we can change what we want to convert our Algorand into. And you see the let's have a look, Bitcoin Cash. If we scroll down there, we have sitting towards the bottom by the looks of it, convert to GBP. Convert to GBP wallet. So we convert it to the GBP wallet. And then preview convert. You got to put in there how much obviously you want to do. So you press the max button and it automatically tells you how many USDC it is. And then you press the convert now, and then it's doing it. It's completed. And there you go. I've just got a Gmail come through saying that my USDC is now available. It looks like I've gone into USDC and not GBP. I pressed the wrong button, but that's how you do it anyway. And then you've got your bank account that you can link it up to. and you can also get paid into PayPal, which now supports Bitcoin. And then that's it. You simply turn around and say you want it made as a faster payments in the UK. You press yes, and you receive the money in your bank instantly. So if I wanted to go into my Binance account, I can do the same with my Binance account. Or if I wanted to go into my Coinbase Pro account, I can go into my Coinbase Pro account and transfer over the funds that are in there and convert them into USD, into GBP. Click yes, it converts it for a small fee. They don't charge a lot really. And then not on the way out of crypto, but on the way in, they normally charge you quite a bit. It's a little bit misleading, really, and I've never really liked it or felt good about it. But you turn around and you might buy yourself £100 or $100 of Bitcoin, and like you've done that, you select yes, and then it comes up and says, okay, it's going to be fee free. You're going to have no fees. Are you sure you want to do it? You say yes. You say yes, and then it's like you now have $93 or £93, and you're like, well, where's my £7 gone, dude? And like Coinbase is just like rubbing its hands saying, yeah, I've just rinsed you. And then you speak to Coinbase about it, and you said, well, I thought it was fee free, and they turn around and say, yeah, it's an exchange rate. Yeah, great, yeah, thanks for telling me that. You didn't tell me that during the screen when I did it. Anyway, that's the situation. But let's get into the technical analysis side of things. Any other questions, let me know. Let's just get into the chat. So we got crypto trader. We got to there. Minimal unit value people can use. So the minimal unit, what value people can buy into Bitcoin is however, the Bitcoin transfer fee will be higher, so not recommended. So yeah, so what he's saying there, so the minimum amount that you could get is probably about 5p, but the fee in order to do that, I mean, I think they have 99 pence transfer fee or something like that on the way into crypto is going to be more than the amount of crypto that you would buy if you're only going to buy a penny, a few pennies worth. So that's what he's saying. Why should I use PayPal? Have you noticed the open source payment gateway on Algorand network? It can be used without any financial middleman. Algorand is awesome, crypto trader. Yes, I have. It's insane, and it only takes 4 seconds for your transaction to go through. If you transferred £10 over to me, it might come in at £9.98 or something and take 1p or $1, 1 cent, 2 cent of your money. It's hardly anything. Likewise, you can turn around and send me $100,000 or £100,000, and it will still only cost just a few pence. And it's instant. It's faster than a fast payment in the bank industry, and it's secure. And and whilst your money's sat there in the wallet, you're getting 6% APY on your Algorand as well. So it's an incredible way. And that's just another thought, actually. If any of you guys are sitting on any money at the moment, we've just looked at how the cost of buildings going up, the cost of electric, gas, and general bills. The cost of cars are going up. Manufacturers are going up of everything. And but your pound is going down, so everything's going up, whilst your fiat currency, is going down. I was just going to sound like a Frenchman, but it's a bit racist. I'll end up losing because I can't talk without moving my hands. But I'll probably end up losing viewers if I turn around and say that. But yeah, so you got this situation where the price obviously of everything is going up and rocketing up, where the strength of your fiat currency, wherever country you live in, is going down due to the printing off, and therefore you've got this situation of losing your money whilst it's in the bank. So you've got £1,000 or $1,000 in your bank now, and it might buy you, it might buy you a bit of decking for your garden, like 30 square meters of decking for your garden. Well, in a year's time, you're not going to get 30 square meters of decking for your garden. You might be lucky if you get 15 square meters, but you've still got £1,000. Yeah, so your £1,000 won't get you what it can now. So that's why they call that stealth tax, because you're going about your business thinking, oh great, I've got £1,000 savings or £20,000 savings in my bank, but it's actually not what you thought that it was worth, because 2 years ago when you had the £1,000, the £20,000, the £100,000, whatever it might be you sat on, it isn't worth that in value. But let me show you that if you end up going into, I will come back to you in a minute, you crypto trader. If you go and look at USD, not CSD, USD T, rewards, and then APY, question mark. What you can do is you can get your money, and you can convert it into crypto, and you will get an annual percentage yield in Tether, 8.88% on most networks. And these are, some of them are really secure networks. Like Binance is a fantastic. Coinbase was very. It was only just before we ended Brexit that Barclays Bank partners in finance were a part of the Coinbase. But then when we came out of the EU, Barclays Bank PLC came out of it. But they were one of the the partner financiers of Coinbase, and that was Barclays Bank. So yeah, earn rewards on Coinbase. So if you end up getting hold of some USD Tether, then you've got these ways of earning on your money. And Algorand, well, this is not too great for Algorand, but 4% APY. If you were to use the Coinbase to put your Algorand in. But you can also go to Coinbase, the Algorand wallet. The Algorand wallet, my algo, there it is. And we are now getting a reward. Now this is their own wallet, so yeah, 5.75% annual yield, and you can literally see that refresh every time you make a transaction, which you can make a transaction to yourself for nothing, and then it refreshes it. Little tip if you want to know how much it is that you've got in total. You just send yourself nothing, and that's, yeah, then your wallet refreshes. Anyway, moving on to something different. That's Algorand, but the thing is, Algorand is still going up and down in price. So if you're looking at something solid in savings that is only going to go up in value, then Algorand isn't necessarily going to be my first place that I want if I'm not prepared to have the possibility of it going down short term. Whilst I do see Algorand going up very quickly in the near future. As I see it go from 100 in market cap, sitting around about, that might not make sense to you guys, but it will shortly. Then it went up to about 50 in market cap, and last time I looked, which was I think yesterday or the day before, it was at 33. So it's going up the ranks up to where first and second places, which are currently Bitcoin at first place and Ethereum second place. And I think Tether at the moment, which is the one that I was looking at, by the way, for you guys that want to use put your money, it was USDT, Tether. Coinbase takes 25% of staking rewards. So yeah, they have that in their terms. Yeah, no, mate, it's not good. So that's why they're only giving you 4%, because this 6% they'll be getting from Algorand themselves. Anyway, Tether, APY, Binance. This is what we want. So what is it that we're getting from Binance? So we've got flexible savings. So here we go. So these are the what they call stable coins, in that they don't move. So yeah, it says that this is the 7-day, but we're interested in the annual percent yield. So we've got 2.8% annual yield, 2% annual yield. So there, got 2% there. But then you can do locked savings, where you can enter into 14-day, 30-day, 90-day. So you get 5% back just for holding it for 90 days. So whatever it is that you might have in your account, they'll give you 4.8% over that period. And that's pretty good. You're not going to find that in the banks now. So if you're sat on some money and it's doing nothing, then you could be getting money back for it just being sat there. And I know people that do have a lot of money in their bank, and I know that they just sit there. But because you mentioned the word crypto, they get all scared and they get all squirmish, and they end up running away. Excuse me. Ishops need the gateway to accept stable currency, and with the Algorand network with payment gateway, they can accept, example, Tether. Yes. Coinbase takes 25%. Yes. Right. So back to this TA, which is where I'm trying to get to for you guys. Now, I've got some viewers on here at the moment, and I don't know who you are because I can't see who you are. And because I can't see who the viewers are, I don't know who it is that I'm talking to and what it is that I can say that are going to make you enjoy the stream and what it is that you want to know. So I've answered Charlie Penny's question with regards to Penny's question about how do you change it from Bitcoin back into pound again. So obviously Charlie is in the UK because he's talking pounds. Crypto trader is obviously someone who is a crypto enthusiast because he's speaking in this language here, which can not be understood by most people. So yeah, you guys tell me what it is that you want me to look into. I've been live streaming for an hour now, and I need to know what it is that you want to know. But in the meantime, let me get on to Theta, because Theta is a project which I will bring up now. I'm just going to bring their website up. Theta coin. Boom. Cha-cha. So here we go. On coin market cap, they are now ranked 17. So they are also moving up fast. They are NFTs. They are awesome. So that's where they are at the moment. Let's get onto the website, which is where I was going with this actually. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep that up there because I want to keep older coin market cap. I want Theta up. That's not the one, you spanner. Second one. There we go. Thank you. The Theta. Right. Now this is something that to be looking out for in the coming days. Okay, is that they're about to launch their 3.0 mainnet, and that happens in 4 days, which might be the reason why, whilst others dropped quite significantly during that big dump that we had earlier on a few days ago. Sorry, we'll get rid of that one now because we don't need him. Just bring him over here for a sec and minimize that from that screen. Sorry guys. Yeah, it might be the reason why they didn't go down too hardly and take too much of a hit in comparison to. So if I go to here and go to Theta charts, Theta is already on its way back up. I put a long, when I say I put a long, it wasn't a proper trade, it was an entry to a trade here, and it went up, it came down, and it came down, V cap bounce like all the others, and now we've found that there's a lot of buy orders here stopping the price from going down, so people are buying up Theta. And if you look back at the last sort of, I don't know what we got, we go back to sort of we'll go to here. Let's go back to this candle here. If we go back to the 23rd of March, we can see that regards to people buying and selling, we've obviously got here where we've got 4 days of people selling, buying, and then selling, buying, selling. So you got support and resistance. Then we got resistance. That wasn't really a lot. We had resistance there where we couldn't get the price past. And yeah, this is all just junk there, so that not really a lot happened there. But indeed, we have found that the place where we're at the moment is quite significant with regards to its price action. However, looking at their the token and the fact that they're going, the mainnet burn-in and everything else is getting introduced in 4 days' time. So there is a countdown timer. Yeah, you've got game players, you've got NFTs, you got YouTube co-founder turning around and saying, okay, the Theta network is opening some fantastic things, and it's going to allow high definition streaming. He's really bullish on that. So this is what he's got to say. So this is the co-founder of YouTube. He says the Theta's innovation to set up disrupt today's online video industry much the same way that the YouTube platform did to traditional video back in 2005. One of our biggest challenges had been the high costs of delivering video to various parts of the world, and this problem has only gotten bigger with HD 1080p and now 4K and higher, because obviously we've got 8K coming into play now. So the quality of video streams, says Steve Chen, co-founder of YouTube. I'm excited to be a part of the next evolution of streaming space, helping Theta create this decentralized peer-to-peer network that can offer improved video delivery at lower costs. Now, if we look at the node runners that are going around, we can see that it really is a worldwide network that is going on here. And if we look down at some of the validator nodes, we've got Google, we've got Binance that we looked at a little while ago, Blockchain, Sony, Samsung, Gumai, CAA, and the private equity international group, which I'm not too familiar with. But yeah, these nodes, they can all be ran on Linux, Mac, Windows, and CLI. So get started guide, you can go into there, but they do a video, and I highly recommend that you watch the video. It's just here. And yeah, so go on to this Theta coin. So where do we see Theta going with regards to its technical analysis? Well, we're looking into the fact that we're now at all-time highs, so we don't really have any price history to go by to sort of dictate the future. All we can do is turn around and speculate, and the way that I like to do that is by drawing trend lines at past price, yeah, trying to find some way of trying to find a place that we can kind of call home. Oh, need a place to call home. Yeah, it's a cool song. Means a lot to me. It's a good song. A guy called Jerry Tempest wrote it. Who was the singer to a band called Europe that did the Final Countdown. He brought out an album, and it was called A Place to Call Home. Check it out. It's a good video. A good album. Sorry. Right. Yeah. So there we go. So we're going up the way here. So I see that this is a line of support. If we carry on going up there, volume is diminishing, which means the momentum's slowing down. But that could be a good sign for the Theta bulls and people that are wanting to hodl and trade it, because it could mean that this is like a sleeping giant. And let's bring up the RSI to see if we can see any sort of change in direction. So we'll bring up the DMI and we'll bring up the RSI. But we only need one RSI, thank you. Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to get rid of this DMI and I'm going to bring another one up that was done by Rockyoutcrops, who is a great guy, and I recommend that you look at his channel. And he's called Rocky's DMI. So this is the one I like to look at. You'll see that it changes colour as things happen. The general basic gist is that when you've got this line here, and obviously it goes down into orange, and then eventually it'll go down to red as it comes down and hits sort of down towards the lower line of 8. It turns red. But once you got blue, and you've got the yellow line in yellow, rather than it coming down and changing, the yellow's got to be above the pink. So if you've got pink down here, yellow up here, and you're in the blue, then the chances are that the price action is going to go up. And look, the price action went up. Let's find out how much the price action went up by on the day that it turned blue. And so if we go from that day, we go to here, to the place where it changed, it went up 100%. So well done, Rocky's DMI. And then if we do that again, and find out Rocky's DMI, we got the place where it every time it basically it opened up and we got this bulge. So here would be where you would get in at, because you know that we've got an opening of the mouth of the of these two lines here, and what's called the ADX line is in the blue and going up. It means that whilst it's opening up its mouth, it's a go zone, and it went up by 415%. So this indicator really is fantastic. So I'm looking at it now, and I can see that the ADX line, if I zoom in a little bit, is in the blue, is up here in the in this area, which is positive. But we need to see a change of direction in the other two lines. Hey, Mackie. So that's that one. So we'll just get rid of him for a second. And we'll just bring up the normal RSI. I'm going to be speaking a different language now because some of you will be. What news sources do you consider trustworthy? Haha. Now that is a good question, because with that question comes great responsibility. Right, so we've got lower highs. We've got lower highs on the RSI. And we've also got lower lows on the RSI. So we've just got a continuation. There's nothing hidden, nothing spectacular going on here. If I go from this low to this low here, essentially we have a slight divergence there, bearish divergence sort of going on from the tops here to the tops here, and if that is indeed, because I don't know, it all depends if we're going in an uptrend or not. And I suppose the only way of really doing that is if we bring in the Bollinger Bands and find out whether we are indeed, theta is in an uptrend or a downtrend. At the moment, in the macro time frame, macro meaning sort of smaller time frame, I'm thinking about trading on a longer term. Then we are on the smaller time frame, we are actually in a downtrend because we are below this medium line, which is the 20 simple moving average. But if we go to the weekly, we'll see where we are there, and we have wicked down onto the 20 weekly moving average, which is positive because we came off of it. So we are actually in an upwards trajectory, and we have got a hidden bullish divergence, which is great news, because it means that we've got if we are in an uptrend, we've got a low and high, which means that the strength is going up along with the bottoms, meaning a continuation. So that is called hidden bullish divergence. So all in all, whilst we're on our way down on the longer and the longer term time frame, we're looking at weekly, we are indeed on the way up, and it's looking quite good, especially when you consider that the open source is coming through. Now, in answer to your question, Crypto Trader, what source do I consider trustworthy? I consider the trustworthiness of the website of the coin that we're looking at. And also, I like to, when I'm doing my research, I like to look at what here, TradingView, have to say. So on TradingView, you've normally got the markets and cryptocurrencies and indices and futures and all the rest of it, but they normally have in here places to look at economic data, and there's loads of things that you can look at if you scroll around on TradingView. And I'm not just on about people's own personal trades, but the adverts of the particular coins that are of interest. If you look on TradingView's website, so that's normally a place where I like to start, and it'll come up with red flags or bullish signals, and then from there I can then go in and I start looking around at whereabouts it is that I want to be looking. So I'll look at the website. Look at the white paper. It's a bit of a boring thing to look at a white paper and look at what it is they're about, but sometimes it needs to be done. So that's theta, and that's where I see it going. I see a constant bull trend because from the weekly time frame we are above the 20 SMA, and it looks like we are up. What we don't want to be doing is closing the weekly below the 20 moving average. So if I bring up my Bollinger Band and we'll put that on there, we'll see that the 20 moving average is down here at, okay, let's bring Theta to Tether so that we are looking at it so from a Bitcoin standpoint, we are still in a bull trend against Bitcoin, which is how I trade, but in against the dollar at the moment we are in scary territory, but we have hit this area of support where we ended up getting an open candle here 4 weeks ago. We're at the end of the month coming up now, and as hit the end of the month, people get paid, so the general public can turn around and start buying into things, so that's positive news. But with this mainnet going live in 4 days, I can see Theta closing the week this week. I'd like to think that Theta can close this week's candle above, just like the last 4 weeks closed above. So this week closed here, this week closed here, this week closed here, and this physical week, which will close on Sunday, will hopefully, I mean, there should be a nice little trade there for us. I mean, it could very well be that we get a 30% move to the upside. No financial advice, but it could be that we get a massive insurge of price action due to the excitement of this great token here. Moving on to Algorand. So Algorand, we briefly touched on it earlier because I was talking about how amazing it is. Algorand is the future of cryptocurrency. I really believe that. We have them, the use cases for them. They are operating on the marshlands for the government government. Somebody tell me what the government crypto banking GBGDPDG government token. What's it called? Come on, see if I can get it before somebody puts it in the comments. Digital currency. There we go, CBDC, which stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Now, I heard today that the Bank of England is opening up its own, or is looking to open up its own, yeah, okay, you can have that, is opening up its own central bank digital currency with the Bank of England. Now, this means that the bank, yeah, it's too late, bro. You were too late. I'd already got you because you've only just come on. Like, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds or something. Yeah, it was that, yeah. And so the Bank of England, basically, they are already looking into the digital currency. So that is cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter how you look at it, doesn't matter how you want to reword it or whatever, it is a cryptocurrency, and that's what the Bank of England says. We have not made our decision on yet whether to introduce CBDCs. Okay, but I was predicting that they were going to be doing this 2 years ago. I was saying that they were going to be doing this, and people were saying, yeah, okay, well, they're going to be using XRP, because XRP was supposed to be a government, a bank, come on, what's the word? It's a beer. I've only had a few swigs. I told you I'm a lightweight. Was supposed to be a bus mode of transport for currency within the space of the banks. Now, at the minute, there is this. Those of you that are ever move money across border, but if you do, then you'll be using Swift, and Swift charge normally about £25, $30, whatever, to move across. So if you want to pay George Akakwengo in the middle of Africa, I don't know, say, £10, $10 that you owe him or that you want to give him, and you send it via a Swift payment or an IBAN payment, you might know it as IBAN, Swift, you'll end up paying something like 25-30 quid in fees just to send him over a tenner. So it'll cost you 35 quid to send him 10 quid, yeah? And so therefore and it takes 5 days. They've got to wait ages for their money when they could just do it using Algorand. But anyway, off topic. The central banks, the XRP was looking to be a means of borderless transactions, being fast and also noted down in a ledger system that was visible by the banks and the governments too. So if you think of the Matrix, you've got the blue pill and the red pill. If you look at Bitcoin being the blue pill, then indeed XRP would be the red pill. They're complete opposites. Bitcoin is a money for the people, which will happen eventually in, my idea is probably about 8 to 12 years. Then it will stable out, may hit some highs of £1 million a coin or something after a couple of halvings, then come down and sort of settle around probably about where we are now, to be fair, I think, because after doing all that just off the fly with Crypto Trader there, between the two of us, we were working out how much it was. But what ideally, I mean, I read a long time ago, about 5 years ago, I read that Satoshi Nakamoto, the person or people that were invented Bitcoin and came together to get Bitcoin together, his vision was that if you were going to go any country in the world, you're going to go and get a loaf of bread, you'd shout, "Mum, I'm going to the shop to get a loaf of bread," and she'd shout, "Have you got Satoshis with you?" "Yeah, I've got 15 Satoshis." 15 pence. All right. "Well, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need to take yourself." Yeah. So the idea is that you go to the shop and you buy yourself some bread and some potatoes and whatever else it is that you want to buy to make your meal, or buy whatever it is that you're going to buy. But you'd, instead of saying pounds or dollars or yen or whatever it might be that you're part of, that you'd be speaking in Satoshis. Say, "I'm going to take 200 Satoshis. I'm going on holiday. Oh, how much spending money have you got?" I've got 50,000 Satoshis. Yeah. And that was his goal. Well, at the moment, if 1 pence or $1 can't be split and devised at the moment because the price of Bitcoin is too high to do that, and also the value of the dollar and the pound is going down, then I can see at some point Bitcoin, after reaching a load of highs and going crazy and everybody FOMOing in and getting wrecked eventually that don't know what they're doing and looking for, which is why you need to keep staying into these channels like myself, like Rockers, and keeping our eye on things. Then you can turn around and say, okay, well, we know when these cycles are going to break. We know when to come out because we can see bearish divergence on the charts. We can see that, there's a trend reversal going on. There's a massive head and shoulders that's going to take place, or Adam and Eve, or whatever it might be. All of that probably didn't make a lot of sense to you if you're new to crypto, but if it did, then great. So this is what they're doing at the minute. The Bank of England are looking at their own cryptocurrency for themselves. Whilst they're saying they haven't made a decision yet, I'd noticed this a long time ago. I saw this come in. People were saying that, friends of mine that were saying about XRP, and I was fairly certain that I was fairly certain at the beginning that XRP would succeed, and I still think that it will. But it being a bus mode of transport, if you like, between currencies within the XRP protocol, if you will. Okay, so moving on and coming away from the Bank of England and other CBDCs, we are looking at the Algorand platform. Now, those of you that don't know what NFTs are, they stand for non-fungible tokens. A non-fungible token is anything. It could be a piece of art that someone's made. It could be do you ever remember going to school and getting the Premier League or the World Cup cards, where there might be £1 and you go there and you get it, but every now and then you get like a gold one, or one that was glittery, and you do your research and you read the back of the pack, or you get the magazine or whatever, and it'd say, well, there was only 100 of these made, so it's super rare. Yeah, and you get excited, right? Well, imagine they ended up printing a load more off. You're not so excited, are you? Exactly. Not so excited that they're printing them all off. This is your NFT. Useless. Right. So so that's what that and so if that was what it was like back then when we were kids, that you'd have these little cards and Pokemon cards and all these other things. is obviously we're going into a digital world now, and we're talking about digital money, and that's what this channel is all about. Is that back then you would have these, well, NFTs, these non-fungible tokens, are pieces of artwork, but also things like the Premier League, things like the UFC. You'll be going into it. The things like boxing are going into it. Things like basketball are all selling pieces of art and pieces of video clips from the league, and they're selling. So the SIA, one of the world's one of the largest rights management companies, founded in 1882, launched 4 million NFTs on the Algorand, representing rights of nearly 100,000 creators. So these NFTs, these pieces of art, this digital art, and even normal art are being sold and being bought using Algorand, along with lots of other Ethereum-based tokens, which is a topic for another day. ERC20 tokens and other ERC tokens. But that's one of the things that Algorand are getting into now, NFTs, which are at the moment a space that are completely separate to Bitcoin. So at the minute, when Bitcoin drops, NFT platforms drop as well. And when Bitcoin goes up, people have confidence in the crypto market and put their money onto NFTs. But I do foresee in the future, again in a matter of a few years, that NFTs will decouple from Bitcoin, because that is art and that's worth money in people's minds into fiat, because Bitcoin won't take hold of the world for a little while yet. Okay, it's only just gaining traction now, really, with the hype of this bull run that we're in at the minute. Which I do believe we're still in, because Bitcoin hasn't hit a new lower low. The lowest that we've just gone is still higher than the previous low. So essentially, officially, we're still in a bull run. Okay, so it's good from the standpoint of technical analysis on Bitcoin. So this is what's going on here. So that's the NFTs. That's what they're doing. They also are interested in DeFi, decentralized finance. And stable coins cases on Algorand. So even USD, remember we were mentioning earlier about Tether, USDT and USDC, is Algorand is working with them as, again, a mode of transport, a bus payment, a bit like XRP was earlier on that I was talking about. So yeah, Algorand, fantastic project, my favorite without a doubt, second to Bitcoin. So that's that. So where do we see it going in terms of Algorand's, in terms of technical analysis? Well, it's not really until Bitcoin turns around and starts making new moves, or until something major comes along, that will really spike and spice things up. On the weekly, it looks like we are officially in a bear trend, because we're below the 20 simple moving average, and on the daily we are below the 20 simple moving average, and on the 4 hour we are below the sort of 20 simple moving average. So really, it's not a great time to be looking at investing until we get a definite turnaround, because the basic trend is that we're going to be going down. Now, normally when you look at these Bollinger Bands, I suppose we'll go to the daily, I'll show you how the Bollinger Bands work. Bollinger Bands, by the way, like you've got this dark green line, you've got a bit of a cloud where it's a bit green in the background, you've got a red line in the middle, and then a red line on the outside, and that's called a Bollinger Band. And the prices generally stick to the top line, break it, and then they'll come down to the bottom line and bounce off. And then when you get a bounce off there, then the price will normally go the opposite way until it hits the red line, and vice versa also takes place. And that's what it did. It followed and kept on bouncing between these lines. And whatever the price of Algorand stayed above this medium line here, we were in what they call a bull run. Now, the reason why they call it a bull run is because when a bull goes to attack, they go to attack from the bottom. They use their horns. They'll come in and they'll use their horns to move up. They'll go underneath their prey, or the animal, or whatever it is that they're defending or attacking. They'll go from the bottom and they'll use their horns to push up, right? And that's why they call it a bull run, because the bulls are pushing pushing the price up. That's why it's called a bull run. And conversely, a bear run or a bear trap or a bear trend is obviously a bear will come up and stand up on its legs, bring its claws, and they'll come and they'll attack from the top and they'll push you down. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, it's all about jiu-jitsu. So it's all about getting people down to the ground and getting people to the floor, right? And and then that's it. It's game over, really. But yeah, so that's it. So it's all about a bears attacking from the top and pushing down, and it's all about the bulls coming from the bottom and pushing up. A little bit of information there you might not have known. But back to the Bollinger Bands and how they work. You'll normally get what they call the squeeze. And in this case here, this is what we've got. We've got the price actions coming from a volatile move. So I'll show you how volatile it was. It went from this low here to the high of up here, 300%. That's volatile in just a matter of a month. So it went up 300% in a month. That's pretty volatile. If you compare that to Amazon or Facebook or Microsoft, you don't get that much volatility happen on a stock like that. Even forex trading foreign pairs, it's difficult to find that type of without leverage and excuse me. So then obviously it went down. So from its top, it went down to its bottom. Well, if you take the wick into consideration, it came down 70%. And etc. So you got this big volatile move, and then after you've had the volatility for a while, and it could go up quite some time. You'll end up having what they call the squeeze. So this is called the bulge, made by John Bollinger, but it's called the bulge. And then after the bulge happened, we ended up getting a squeeze where the price action was being squeezed off this 20 SMA, this simple moving average, and it ended up breaking it. And then we knew that the price was going to stay below it, and then it broke up. It gave us a fake out for a little while, and now we've been below it ever since, and we've traded on it, above it, below it. And I would say that we're now in this sort of squeeze section. We've came down a couple of days ago when Bitcoin went down, and now we need to see what Bitcoin's going to do before Algorand really kind of makes its moves as to whether it's going to start flipping over and going into above the 20 SMA. Once we're above the 20 SMA and we're doing good, which will be approximately, so we're looking at USD, so we're probably, so we're obviously at the minute we're looking at 81 cents, but we're looking for targets of around about 95 cents, which is a move of approximately 17%. So it's not really until we can get past that point there, which is around about the 95 cents mark, that we can turn around and say that Algorand is in an upward trajectory with regard to it being a great place and a great asset to trade. Moving over to the weekly, and that is going to be the real key, is it's got a long way to go, so we need a lot more volume of people to buy. And then we can turn around and say, well, we need a 50% move for it to go to $1.20 for Algorand. So not looking too good at the moment. Nothing particular that I've seen as of late that Algorand are doing that is bringing out, like the Theta is bringing out their 3.0 mainnet, and I don't see Algorand bringing anything out. I haven't heard anything. But again, if you know of anything, then please put it in the comments and let me know. Chiliz is another an interesting token. It's was introduced to me by a gentleman who I know of. I've met online, and he I just wanted to give him a shout out really and mention his name, but his name escapes me for a moment. It's been about 2 months since I spoke to him, but he's the one that brought me into it. And Chiliz is another NFT token, but it has massive potential. It's one of the biggest growing NFTs, and for it to get to its all-time highs is 133%. So I'm quite happily invested in it. We are absolutely above the 20 SMA, and as long as we continue on that trajectory, then I'm happy. Remember me saying about the squeeze? You normally get the squeeze, and then after the squeeze you get this big volatile move, and then it'll end up coming down and either just wicking below the 20 SMA, which it did, which would be your buy signal, and then you know, off it goes again, in, you know, and then eventually once it sort of finds itself, you'll get another squeeze for a time. And so that's on the weekly if you're trading over a longer period, but generically we are going down in and potentially making a bull flag. Pendant, call it what you will. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Again, we need a little bit more volume, but overall, looking at the charts, I see Theta down 9% today versus the fiat, and I see Bitcoin down 7%. Again, hitting on that trend line, which I think is really, really important. I really want to make sure that we close this week above this trend line, for me personally to believe and have confidence that we are indeed in a bull run, and that we're not going to go down to further downside action. Now, just to let you guys know, also there's something happened. I want to go to the daily and show you guys something that you might not have seen, right? So if I bring up the RSI, let's say you were invested into Bitcoin and you knew what was going on, you had a basic understanding, you would have seen that the RSI, for those that don't know, stands for the Relative Strength Index, and what it does is it measures the last sort of 14 days of price and momentum of the coin or asset class that it's looking at, and then ends up with the algorithm of what the RSI does. Because it's not strictly moving averages, it dictates and tells you the strength of the coin. So what we had here, if we bring out the brush, is that we had a higher high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, yeah, and then here we had a higher high, and then we go to this one, we had a higher high, and a higher high, and a higher high, high. All right, so we can see that as the price goes up, we're getting the strength of the coin going down. So and yeah, as that was happening, you see, we could have noticed that, hang on a minute, after the first one, you see this coming down here. You can say, well, that's not too clever, because, you know, the strength of the coin's going down as the price is going up. So the price is going up. You can think of a roller coaster just coming down really, really fast. It's going up the hill, so it's going up the hill now. It's going up the hill, but the petrol the momentum, the inertia of the car, the cart that you're in, ends up running out as it goes down. This is like the inertia power, if you like, of the coin. As the coin's going up, the inertia, the power is going down, and eventually we run out of puff, and the roller coaster starts to go down with it. Now, if you knew what it is that you were looking at, and you knew to look for those things, which is a simple, it's not a complicated thing to look for, but it is something that you need to understand in order to trade, because it's a lifesaver at times. What you could have done there, knowing that this was about to happen, is taken your Bitcoin and putting it over into, say, USD, see what we're looking at either, or Tether, one of those stable coins, and then buying back into Bitcoin after it's come down here and hit this area of resistance where it found this support, where it found earlier on a few months back in around about January time. So yeah, we had a massive run up there, and it was really exciting, which is why probably a lot of you have ended up joining this channel and other channels, where you can see that we have had that big run up, and people had made sort of like 572%. So you were telling your nan, you were telling your mum, you were telling your mate's nan, you were telling everybody about Bitcoin, and then they all bought in up here, and now they're all blaming you, and they're saying, well, what's going on here, because we've ended up buying up here and the price is down here. And you've got to try and convince them somehow that, don't worry, you know, yeah, you bought up there, but we're still in a good price, because, you know, Bitcoin's going to go to 100 grand by the end of the year. because that's what everyone's saying, right? Well, if all of the people are saying it, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's likely to happen. Just like everyone was saying by December, the price of Bitcoin by the end of this year would definitely hit $20,000. And then it's no surprise that in December, if I get December up here, we ended up hitting, if I get December, look, December here, the 12th, there we go, let's find it, cha-cha. There you go. So December the 11th, we hit 20 grand, flew straight past it. We didn't get much resistance on the 20 grand. It hit it there. But this candle just went straight past it. It was like nothing. It's like, yeah, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And then off it went. And it, it hasn't come down to it since. I've got this CME gap here of $23,685. The CME is is the Chicago Exchange, and in order to be a part of the Chicago Exchange, you need something like $100,000 balance to be able to trade on the Chicago Exchange. So it's not people, the general public, that trade on the CME, and it's only open Monday to Friday. So what you tend to find, if I go to the CME chart, what you tend to find is that you tend to find that people will, let's get it up there, see here, this was a Friday, and then this was the Monday, so they all left their trades just here, and Bitcoin had a big jump. Well, I'm saying big, it was big enough for them not to be happy. So there's a 5%, hang on, was that right? Let's go from the bottom, which is where we're supposed to go. Red candles close at the bottom, by the way, guys, to the open of there. So yeah, 6.13%. So yeah, these people, normally when you have this gap from the weekend, or throughout history, you tend to find, if there are any gaps, like for example, there was a gap here where this white line is, the price ended up coming down, and you got the wick off of this green candle here that kind of came in and almost filled it, just short of just a few percent, almost filled it, and then you can go back in the past, and every time that there was a gap on the way up, so what we got, let's find a CME gap. So that was that one. Trying to find an obvious one. Okay, so here's a gap, yeah. So there's a big gap from there to there. The price went up and around, and then this candle came down and filled the gap. So the gap got filled, and then the price went up, came down, and then carried on. So yeah, so there's this gap here, and then as we zoom out on the price of Bitcoin, notice that this line here where it says CME gap is where the gap is. Bitcoin has never come down and filled the CME gap, so that's something to look out for. That the price might end up coming down to that point. So if you're not quite sure, make sure that you've got at least a one buy order in at 23,000. Actually, let me go back over to my normal before I give you the wrong information. Yeah, make sure that you stick yourself a buy order in, at least for a little bit of money, for that you can afford to lose, for 23,685. Notice I said that you can afford to lose. Now that's really important that you guys understand this, that whenever you're trading or you're buying a commodity or an asset of sorts, you need to make sure it is something that you really can afford to lose, because people get excited, they watch other YouTubers, they watch people that are more experienced than them do their trades, and they might have a significant amount of more money than you do, and they go put their trade on, confident with their their amount of money that's more than you've got, and you turn around and say, well, if they're that confident sticking 70, 80 grand on one trade, if they're that confident on it, well, I'm going to go and get it on a credit card. So you go and get it on a credit card, you don't know how to use the exchange properly because you're not experienced, and you end up losing all of your money. and now you're left having to pay back that debt. So when you hear people say never put on more than you can afford to lose, it really is true. You shouldn't do it, because all you'll end up with is debt and loans that you've got to pay back, and also feelings of a distaste and just nastiness in you, thinking, all right, stuff this luck, I'm going to stop trading, I'm not going to learn about the economics anymore. And you start getting yourself into having a puff. I know, because I've done it. I've been in the cupboard crying, banging on the wardrobe, and I've been there, done that, seen it, and now I am more reserved with my trades. And now, even though we've come down and my balance has halved, I have got no feelings of anxiety whatsoever. I'm like a stone when it comes to my my anxiety levels and the like. Can you see my curtain wobbling around there in the background? Andy, do you want to come and show your face?
No, I'm just trying to hide you back.
Gonna try and hide what?
You can see the back.
Alright, thanks, buddy. You can come say hello if you want. We've got 4 viewers.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you're one of them, are you? Are you learning anything?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Alright, so who else have we got in the chat? Come on, interact with me, guys. Who else have we got? Can somebody turn around and tell me who's here? Crypto Trader, are you still here, buddy? BG Does Gaming, are you still here? Charlie Penny, are you still here? Who's here with me? I'm just going to leave that for a second while some of you type, because I want to know who's with me. Because if I know who's with me, then I can bring you guys up to speed on some things that I know each one of you will be interested in. So basically, if I've got a general idea who's here, but getting Bitcoin is as easy as this. You sign up using Coinbase and you get yourself a Coinbase account. So go on to Google or look in the description of this video once I've finished in it, and I'll go in there and I'll put a link there, and I think you'll get yourself something like £10 worth of crypto or something like that when you use my link. So you'll get $10 quid or something, and so will I if you put in, I think it's £100 or something like that. Good man, thanks Crypto Trader. So we got Crypto Trader, and we got Andrew Goodlad, Andy Goodlad. He is the guy behind the curtain, who's here as a TA for me, not a TA, a technician, and helping me get settled in earlier. So that's what you do. You open yourself a Coinbase account, use that link which I'll put in the description later, if you want to, or if not, just go on to Coinbase. It's literally Coinbase, like you're on a base, and Coinbase has 0.5%, Binance has 0.075. I know, buddy, and I would like my viewers to use Coinbase, but the problem is for them to buy it, they need to understand how to use the trading platform, and it is complex for people that see a shed ton of lines and don't know how to buy or exchange, and it just gets complicated. But Coinbase, whilst it has those fees, it also has that introduction offer which should counteract the fees that they have. So therefore, everybody should work out okay because of that first initial sort of offer that they have, which arguably Binance also have the offer. But with Coinbase, it is not for professionals, it is for the everydayer. And they do have 0.5% fee when you're buying in. So, stick your £100 in, and you're going to get charged. It's more than that, actually, because by the time it all comes out, you might get charged £6-7 quid for £100. But once you're in it, then it's only got to go up 6%, which it will do very, very soon. And within the next few months, it should go up to massive highs, and hopefully you'll all be making good money. But once you're in it, then you can keep it in it. And you know what? If your £100 goes down to £50, don't take it out. Just wait, and you got to wait until it goes up to £400, and then you can take it out. Then you've made yourself a profit. This is the great thing, you see, when you buy in stocks. Stocks can go down to nothing, and shares in companies. Companies can go bust, and you can trade things like CFDs, contract for differences, or ETFs, or a load of other acronyms that you probably don't understand, most of you. You can do all these things and you can lose money. But when you own the asset that you're buying, when you own it, and it's a strong asset that a lot of companies are depending on, like Ethereum, like Algorand, and like so many of them, the Chainlink, smart contracts, and all the rest of it. There's loads of them. When you own these, whilst the price might go down, as long as you don't sell, you haven't lost the money. It's still there. You just need to wait for the price to go back up again. And as long as that's why we say, as long as it's what you can afford to lose. If it does go down, you're never going to be in that position where you think, oh, you know, that £100 that I put on Coinbase, I need that right now. Yeah. If you think that there will be one day where you're going to need that £100, then £100 is too much for you. So only stick 50 quid on. And if that's going to happen, then only stick £30 on. Yeah, $30. And obviously then it goes down. And then if that's too much, then just stick 15 quid on and get your girlfriend to pay the other 15 quid. You know, you got 15 quid each in then. And then if that's too much, get your mum and dad involved, and that's £7.50 each. See, I'm good at fractions. Yeah, I'm so good at maths. But if you're not in the race, then there's no way you're going to win it, right? And we as crypto enthusiasts are very confident in the future of the crypto industry, and this is where we're going. Crypto is the future, and we know it's the future because the governments of the world are using it. And if we just go on to something I'll just show you quickly, is SOV, Marsh Islands, Algo. Here we go. We've got the website again. Marsh Islands, government, public sector, digital asset, stable coins. Marsh Islands SOV. The Republic of Marsh Islands is a notation of embracing future technology with a vision for an open financial system that harnesses and benefits the blockchain technology. The Marsh Islands is the first country to adopt a national digital currency. The digital currency, known as SOV, will circulate alongside the US dollar and help the Marsh Islands efficiently operate in the global economy. And yeah, they are using Algorand along with USDC to do this. So Algorand is already working with one of the government's stable coins, and if Algorand's doing it and the Marsh Islands are doing it, which are part of the USA, then there's a good chance that the USA are just using the Marsh Islands as a test net, if you like. And if it all works out well with the Marsh Islands, then they may very well turn around and say that the Algorand could become the USA-backed coin, which would be awesome. Would be absolutely awesome. And yeah, love it. Algorand is doing everything: NFTs, government sector, staking, pure proof of stake. This is something that you guys might not be aware of. So you might have heard of mining for Bitcoin, right? So you got computers all around the world, and they're all trying to look at transactions between one sender and a receiver, and then they all become part of this block, and they can get this algorithm, solve the algorithm, and then they get awarded a tiny bit of Bitcoin, and that's what incentivizes these miners to log these transactions. So you get this block of transactions, and all of these transactions are all logged down on a computer, and then of the ones that have solved this algorithm first. So it's this big race for trying to solve out all these algorithms of all of these different transactions that are going on all over the world, right? And then all the other computers that are all linked on the web, they're all not only finding their own transactions and algorithms and getting awarded their own bit of Satoshis for doing it, they're also copying the ledger system around the world. So those people that turn around and say, well, Bitcoin's anonymous. You can't be seen or whatever. It absolutely can. In fact, it's on hundreds of millions of computers that are taking logs down of the transaction. Maybe the person isn't, but the wallet address that it went to is most definitely logged and can never be denied, which is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so incredible with its technology. I think it was beyond its time, to be honest, and it's why it's where it is now at number one. Okay, so you end up with miners. Now that uses a lot of electricity because you need supercomputers with massive graphics cards running 24 hours a day, using lots of electric, and this is why China has banned it, because they're turning around and saying, we in China are really interested in the economy, and we don't want to make any dirty fuels back in this asset called Bitcoin. So we want to ban it, at least until we know that there's a better way. And we've gone in there and into these mining rigs and made sure that we're happy with the way that they're doing it. They're just assessing it. So they've closed them down. So that was bad news for the world. But in reality, it was already on the cards. China had mentioned it whenever it suits their government and their financial situation to turn around and throw something out there. They do. So they mentioned that back in 2017. So it's been closing it down one by one, and then the last state within China, they ended up going in and turning around and shutting that down and assessing them until they see that it's fit and it complies with the regulations that they want to set out, whatever regulation will suit the regulatory body that look into them. Anyway, moving on. Those will then they're taken over to mostly to the United States of America, and therefore now the USA are the highest mining area of the world. That's proof of work. So proof of work is not good for the environment when it comes to using fossil fuels and dirty energy. So you might have heard that none other than the main man himself, Elon Musk, turned around and said that here at Tesla, we are going to be allowing people and our customers to be paying by Bitcoin to buy their new Tesla. And then Bitcoin rocketed up. And then he turned around and tweeted, I'm also investing in Bitcoin myself. So it rocketed up again. So within just a few tweets, it had a massive difference to people's, what's the word I'm looking for? People's enthusiasm and confidence in cryptocurrency. That if Elon Musk is doing it and he's doing Skynet and all the rest of the stuff that he's doing to save the planet and try and make things better for us, that if he's doing it, then it's got to be a good thing, right? A couple of things to consider there is later on he turned around and said, actually, we're because it's mostly done by dirty fuels, all these Bitcoin miners. What we're going to do is turn around and we're not going to accept it anymore. Sorry, no acceptance of Bitcoin for your new Tesla. Sorry, we're not going to do that. And then a little while later, he turned around and said, okay, I'll tell you what, we will, but only when the Bitcoin miners, at least half of the Bitcoin miners are using eco-friendly fuel to power their mining machines, their mining rigs. Now, whether that's turbines, aqua turbines, or wind turbines, solar panels, whatever it might be that's generating electric, kinetic energy of sorts, whatever it might be. This clean energy, then once 50% of the miners are using clean energy, then Tesla will then take it on. So people are okay, that's sigh of relief. So then they start buying back up into Bitcoin again because they know that Elon Musk is actually backing it, but he just wants it to be a cleaner place. Well, there's a couple of things to take into consideration there. Is that the United States are trying to bring together, along with a load of other world leaders, a group of people to pioneer the future of a transition where the world goes from fossil fuels into renewable energy. And Elon Musk, surprisingly or no surprise, wanted to be on the board of directors in this movement forward to lead the world into this way. And if he's turning in around with one of his companies and also going online tweeting saying, "Hey, I want to buy Bitcoin," then I want you to give me Bitcoin, and I'm buying Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's this dirty, using all this energy from the world's dirty resources, then it's not going to look good for him then to go and to apply to be on this board of directors and say, "Hey, I want to help pioneer the future of the world to go green," when he's accepting Bitcoin that's dirty, that's fueled by dirty energy, right? So yeah, so that was another school of thought that that he ended up making that move, and then turning around and backpedaling and turning around and saying, actually, we're not going to, but we will do, but only when 50% of the miners are using renewable energy. Which then gets on to the sticky topic of how do you turn around and find out what percentage is of miners are using renewable energy or not. How can you regulate that? How can a regulatory body get involved with that and find out, what's going on there? So then that starts getting a bit messy. But yeah, so that's an Elon Musk sort of thing. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I've kind of lost my train of thought probably because I'm tired. I mean, what have I been streaming now for 2 hours? I still haven't got through my can of beer. One moment. Whoa! Someone's donated me £10. No way. Andy Goodlad. Wow, thanks, man. 2 hours ago, I didn't even notice. Rotted. That's awesome. Thanks, man. Great stuff. Grace Foundation. Hey, how you doing? I heard he has plans to use Doge as a currency when he works with a company in mining the moon. And also heard he will use his renewable energy resources to cut the electricity costs. Musk. Yes, we're talking about Musk. Why does not Tesla want to use algo for payment for his Teslas? Thank you, buddy. That's exactly where I was going to go with this. Going to find you the link. Yeah, please do, and put that into the thing, and we'll have a look at that while we're here. Great to have you here, Grace. Okay, so yeah, that's where I was going to go with this, right? So that's proof of work, right? So have you got that? Those that are following now. So we've got proof of work where you got all these computers all using GPUs, that's graphics cards, and processors, computer processors, to try and figure out these algorithms in order to get paid. Right, that's proof of work. Then you got proof of stake. Now, don't let me lose you here if you haven't had dinner yet, but I'm not talking about steak as in a 16-ounce steak, a bit of rump steak on the side or whatever. Steak and chips, not that type of steak. We're talking proof of stake as in when I showed you earlier on that you can turn around and get your money on Algorand, that they would give you an annual percentage yield back. And I think on the Algorand network, when we looked at it, have I still got the thing on there? No, we don't. My Algorand wallet. There it is. Okay, so this is what I mean, right? Let's go to the official wallet. Here we go. My Algorand wallet. There you go. So earn staking rewards, and again, not stake, but rewards of 5.75 annual yield. So you can become a node runner, meaning that you can get involved with the distribution of it. But generally speaking, you can just sit back, relax, and chill, and stack rewards of 5.75% rewards on this, right? Which is a fantastic amount of money to do nothing, and your money's just making you money, right? So with other coins, this is so you got proof of work, and then you got what they call proof of stake. So instead of going around and getting transaction fees mining and going around and getting the money for working out the algorithms and getting paid in Bitcoin, like Ethereum does also, and many other coins, using this dirty energy, inverted commas, there is proof of stake. Where there are other proof of stake. Let's get a list of proof of stake. So POSCRYPTO cryptocurrency. I should have put list there, shouldn't I? That'll do. List, and then we can get a list and an idea of different ones that you will have heard of, right? So most profitable proof of stake current cryptocurrencies. Okay, give us the list then. Don't want all that, right? Okay, so we've got one, good coin, Flexi, Elrond, Strasis, Algorand. I don't necessarily agree with that. Tron staking, allow, get rid of you, Binance. Staking with BNB. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of different. You got Ray there. You got Tezos, XTZ. They are a proof of stake, and yeah, obviously they work on as an ERC20 token. So I don't know how that's a staking page, but right. So it is. There is a lot of proof of stake. Problem with the proof of stake is that as the transactions are going through, there is a possibility of forking, whereby the blockchain ends up getting congested, and forking off into different areas. So then another cryptocurrency will come along and say, hey, I'll give you a hand sorting out these problems that you've got, these mathematical problems and these other not mathematical problems, these backlog of transactions that you've got. I will help you out here and help you sort it out. So they ends up getting forked into, and I believe that for Bitcoin, for proof of work, Bitcoin ended up having things like Bitcoin Cash and the ones that came in as Bitcoin forks. But so you got proof of work, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Proof of stake, these ones here where you end up getting rewarded just by holding the token. Okay. And now we've got Algorand here now, which is not proof of work, but pure proof of work. So what they've managed to do is bring about a network which is secure, lightning fast speed, does government based tokens, has NFTs, and has this pure proof of work. So it's more secure and unable to be hacked. Obviously nothing's 100% certain, but Algorand certainly turn around and what's the word, say that it's impossible to be hacked. They have got it written down here, I know, because I've read it. And yeah, so that's cool. So this is why I like Algorand. It's so you got proof of work, proof of stake, and pure proof of stake. So Algorand is pure proof of stake. So a little while ago, bear with me, Grace, I'll be with you in a sec. Grace, sorry. Yeah, so crypto trader there said, well, why don't Elon Musk turn around and say, well, use Algorand? Well, absolutely, because if he used Algorand, then he would be absolutely going green, because you don't require any electricity. Well, you very little electricity to hold. All you need is it on your mobile phone. I've got my Algorand wallet on my phone, and I carry it around with me. That's where my Algorand wallet is. So if anybody wants to try and hack my phone, feel free to. But it's in my Algorand wallet. You ain't gonna hack it, no matter how good you are. Actually, don't. Just in case, right? But yeah. So there we go. And yeah. So that's it's great stuff, right? This guy is kind of crazy, however, is interesting video and does interesting research. Grace says, okay, so I need the link, but I haven't got it from you yet. I hope you're not talking about me, because I'm kind of crazy. And I'll say cheers. Andy, man, I can't believe you've given me that money. That's great for you. That's really, really kind of you, dude. I love you, man. Yeah, so what else we got? Grace, I need that link because I'm dead interested. See if I can find it myself. I heard that he was plans to do currency in the company mining the moon. He also heard that he was going to use the reuse of energy to cut the costs. Yeah, Better link. What is that? The link? Better link? Because he's got Skynet. Better link. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. You'll have to elaborate on that. I'm sorry for my my 4 viewers. My poor self. No, dude. This is a crazy American dude. All right, okay. We need to find the link, Grace. All right, let's see what we can do. We've got to try and find the link ourselves. So Elon Musk. Let's see what Elon Musk's doing. Elon Musk. Looking to use Dogecoin. I don't think he's really that interested in Dogecoin. Both YouTube links in the chat. Both YouTube links in chat. Oh, on the Discord, you mean? Hang on a minute. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a. I think he messes around on this, but I can't believe that. Really? Do you believe this? I mean, it's CNBC. I don't know. When crypto trader, when you asked me earlier, what news source do you consider trustworthy? And it's this kind of stuff where you go, I don't accept this. I don't accept the CNBC as being a reliable source. I'm really sorry, but they are owned by a massive pool of news developers, so they all got the same intro. Copy and paste in YouTube. Okay, I will copy and paste it into YouTube, but I need the copy. I need the link. Okay, this is interesting. Let's just see what it says anyway. So SpaceX accepts Dogecoin as payment to launch Doge.1 mission to the moon next year. I can't believe this. I'm sorry. I really can't believe it. My fault. This is getting confusing. Oh, bless you. I'll tell you what then. Well, you're in the Discord, aren't you? Let's get the Discord up and bring up the those of you that are not on my Discord, get it to the Discord and jump in, right? So go. Tell you what, Grace, go to the Discord, go to the general page, and type in the link in the Discord. I will. I will. Yeah, see you there. If not, don't worry, it's chill, it's cool. I'll find it.
Hurricane is an extreme windstorm event.
Because Dogecoin, for those of you who don't know, is just a meme coin, right?
Intensity and the
So for them to turn around,
2020 is the most
yeah, for those of you that don't know,
Atlantic
Dogecoin was a
hurricane
meme
season on
coin,
record.
and
What's
really
making the problem
when the
worse
kids
is
had
that,
the
especially in urban
when the
areas,
kids had
there's
the school
rapid
terms,
pace of development,
they
there's
used to try and
aging
get it to go to $1. So
infrastructure,
all the
and
kids
there's
ended up buying
reduced
in when it was
maintenance on that infrastructure.
during half terms. And if you go back on Dogecoin's history, it was always on a half term. Yeah, so all the kids then ended up putting their pocket money on Dogecoin, trying to get it to go, and then yeah, it would go crazy during term, and then some of the kids would, bless them, would end up getting wrecked. I'm in there. If I find any actual facts with actual source, I'll send you those. Need to actually do DD. DD? What does DD mean? Direct debit? Don't know. DD. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what happens here. Right, let's turn this up. My fault. Relaying rumors on YouTube videos. That's all right. YouTube is a minefield of finding places to go that you can actually get credible information from. But let's turn this up and let you guys have a listen. See what gives. Right, let's see what I got. I kind of like the music. Okay, it's going to fly a load of geometric 400 kilogram fields. Can you go up there? Doge will demonstrate the application of cryptocurrency beyond Earth's orbit to set foundations to the influential e-commerce. This comes after SpaceX CEO Elon Musk
just like jokes about it being a hustle.
Yeah, it is a joke. Hang on. Saturday Night Live and called the cryptocurrency a hustle. Right, let's have a listen. See what she's got to say.
Despite jokes about it being a hustle, Musk's other company, SpaceX, taking it pretty seriously the morning after SNL, SpaceX announcing that it will launch a mission funded by the cryptocurrency called Doge.1. So in some ways, Musk is taking it to the moon. That's getting a lot of hype on social media.
I certainly like the music.
During that skip, cryptocurrency's price, Dogecoin's price, began to crash. It tanked by about 30% on Saturday night. The cryptocurrency, which started as a joke back in 2013, is already up more than 10,000% this year. It had more than doubled heading into the weekend.
Do you think Dogecoin could pay for the rocket to be cleaned? Maybe by window cleaners that can kind of... Yeah, thank you. That was quite amusing. Yeah, so that Dogecoin basically was just a meme coin, and in actual fact, if you were to do a little bit of research on Dogecoin, you'll find that Dogecoin themselves, hang on a minute. Can you guys still hear me? I need to know that you can hear me, because I've just taken my desktop music volume down. Just say yes, please, if you don't mind. I would be awfully grateful. Right. Andy, man, I still can't believe that. That's really good of you, dude. Okay, so, right. You're in the chat, and I don't have anything there, Grace, but that's cool. You've deleted all that. You don't need to delete stuff. It's cool. Everything's cool. Alright. So Dogecoin, yeah, it was a meme coin, and it was just for jokes, just for fun, and yeah, we ended up loads of people getting on the back of it. You heard them say there that it went up thousands of percent or whatever. I've got Dogecoin on it. Look, Dogecoin to Bitcoin, Doge. I'm not sure I've got Doge USDT or not. Doge Tether. Should have really, because I do own a little bit of Doge. Full transparency there. But let's get Doge up against, as we're on the topic, right? DOGE USDT Binance. There we go. Boom. Doge be at the bottom. Tether. Right. So when it turns around and says that it went up, you know, X amount of 1,000%, if we get the ruler and go from the bottom, which was approximately there, to the top, you can see it really is 37,000%, you know, since November 2019. So whilst it's a joke coin, it's got on the back end, everyone's got on the back end of it and made a load of money. Most of it kids money. Came, yo, what's up, my G? Really good to have you here, man. That's giving me a bit of inspiration. I feel a little bit more, you know, loved right now that the fact that you've joined me. I'm like, yo, I've got none other than Came. I've got BGD Kid. I've got Andy Good Lad. I've got Grace, and I now feel like my family's with me, and it's like giving me a boost. So that's really good. Thanks for joining up, buddy. That's all good stuff. What do you think to its why? What do you think? It's wise to get a miner to do. To mine both Light and Doge? Question mark. Do you know what? Right now, I wouldn't say that it's great to mine anything. Right now, I'd say it's best to dollar cost average into one of the top. Right. This is one of the things that you need to understand about certain cryptos. Right. If I bring up this one here, it's called CoinMarketCap.com. If you're not familiar with it, make sure, I don't know how much you're going into this, Grace, but if you go onto CoinMarketCap and have that as, like, you'll see along here, and I'm not afraid, everything that I've got on here is, I'm happy to have it all on view to everybody. If I didn't, then I'd press F11 and you wouldn't see any of it, okay? But I want you to see everything that I've got going on here so that you can see the things that I was looking at about Cracknosh, about the price of wood going up and materials for building, about all this stuff. I want you to see this, and I also want you to see what it is that I'm using here. I use Coinbase, Canva I use to make my thumbnails, but along here are the things that I use the most, right? So obviously I'm on YouTube because I'm on YouTube now, but on the first one that I've got on here is this, what I'm on now. So this is Trading View, which is the main one that you'll see Rockyoutcrop use, Trade Spotting use, Crypto, Da Vinci, Carl the Moon, myself, loads of other YouTubers all using. It's the industry standard kind of place to go to get your technical screens and charts and things. And you don't need to pay for a subscription. It's free. And yes, everybody's saying yes, they can hear me, and that's good. Like an ant miner, you can do, and an ant miner isn't going to break the bank, but it's not going to make you anything. Like, it's not going to make you a lot. I got like honey miner. I'm not going to. Yeah, I can't. Can I bring up that? Let's have a look. I'll let that load up there for a second. Yeah, so you could do that. You could go on to honey miner, which is the one that I use, and I'll bring that over. And here we go. So I made, I've got a gaming PC. It's fairly good. It's not the best in the world, but it's if you were to go and get the latest PC from PC World, just your normal average everyday PC, it's quicker than a normal PC. So it should be pretty good. It's got a GPU, graphics card on it, so it's certainly going to be quicker than an old Antminer that you'll find on and and I had my MacBook Pro. I had this computer. I had a previous computer with a faster GPU, and I was mining it consistently for about 3 or 4 weeks probably, and I'm on about the computer was on constantly, and it was hot in here because of all of the heat that it was bringing out, and I didn't even make one cent in USD in sats. I haven't made 1p, not 1p, and it was going for all that time. So the answer is no. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't mine myself unless you've got, and I'll show you what I mean. 2021 GPU. So if you're going to keep in touch with the, I'll leave that for now. It's no big deal. The Nvidia, you got a £20,000 one there. You got £1,500. That's okay. It's a 16 gig one. That's okay. It's pretty good as far as graphics cards go. That'd probably be roughly about where you'd be sort of sitting if you're going to get a decent one. But then you need a PC that's going to have a motherboard that's powerful enough, or not powerful enough, I should say, big enough, and an encasement that's big enough to take the bigger graphics card. You need a bigger PSU, power supply unit, to power it, and and it's just like, it's just really, really incredibly expensive, and if I didn't even get a penny like back then, and that was before the bull run, then how are you going to get 1,500 quid back, even if it does end up going to £500,000 per coin? So that's a rhetorical question for you, when it's like, which way? So I wouldn't mine myself personally. I would say the money you would put into buying yourself an Antminer, I would say dollar cost average into which is where I was going a minute ago. Hang on a sec, let me go back to it's all good. It's all you crypto kiddies' fault. I can't get a good GPU for less than that 1,000. It's true, mate. It's absolutely true. And there was a shortage of them. There is a shortage of them because everyone was buying them all up. Well, now obviously it's going down. Interesting thing about mining, and for you that don't know, and some of you will, I know that at least one of you or two of you will, is on here on this chart. We can go to something in the called the hash ribbons, and that tells us that basically, if we look, I'm on the GP. Let's get Bitcoin USD. Yeah, that's fine. So if we get the Bitcoin price sort of there, we'll remove the RSI for a sec, and you know what? We'll even remove the volume, because the volume's. No, I'll leave the volume up there. Leave the volume up there. I'll use that volume in a minute. So what ended up happening is every time you see one of these lines, just here, this is the Bitcoin halving, where the miners get. So I sort of gave you a brief idea of how Bitcoin mining ended up getting paid, how the miners get paid, or how you yourself, if you were to buy an Antminer and to do it, how you would get paid is that the Antminer would be solving these algorithms for transactions that are getting moved across from one person to another, or one company to another. So every time that you see one of these lines, this is where we had a halving, right? and we ended up, so here was your halving, where the miner, the person, in which case it would be you if you were to buy yourself a Bitcoin miner or a decent GPU and do it yourself. It would be here that you would end up getting paid half now of what you were getting paid, which now means the asset becomes less. It becomes more scarce, if you will. The people are now getting paid half, therefore the miners will end up becoming less, because they're turning around and saying, hey, I'm not even getting paid enough to pay the electricity to keep my computers going, or my miners going. Yeah, so then now they end up getting half. Litecoin's the same. That's another proof of work. So yeah, so that what ends up happening is you get what they call miners capitulation, where as you start looking in, cha-cha-cha, so we ended up getting the halving here, and then we ended up having a miners capitulation just here, whereby the difficulty of the algorithms associated with each transaction ended up getting easier, because they've turned around and split your rewards in half. But then the algorithms get easier, which means the Bitcoin miners can continue to make money, because they're making the transactions faster. They're making the blockchains are going through faster, because the puzzles, the algorithms, the computers are sorting out quicker. So because it's easier, there's a capitulation, and then what ends up happening as it's getting easier is that this particular chart brings up a buy signal, and then it's at that buy signal there that if you were to buy at that point there, and I'll just bring him down. If you were to buy, I'm going to need to bring him down even more and even more. Look at the size of that mountainous object. Yeah. If you were to get in, I mean, I can't really find the bottom here, but if I get in sort of there-ish, yeah, which is right in the center of those candles, Bitcoin ended up making a whopping great 3,431% gain from that move there when that buy came in after the halving. And then there was another one there, and we ended up having a little sort of like, it wasn't as big, but we ended up making 300%. Okay, that was a nice little capitulation where it ended up changing, but it had to capitulate because the price of Bitcoin went down so low that the reward for Bitcoin, the mining companies couldn't afford to pay the bills with the reward that they were getting, so they were shutting down. And as the miners start to shut down, miners capitulation starts to happen. Now I'll ask you a rhetorical question here, is what do you think's happening now in this chart as we've shut down all of the miners in China? Do you think as we get to the end of here, we'll start seeing some capitulation to try and entice people to start mining again? Yeah, so we'll see what goes on in a minute. So it went on, and then we ended up having the halving here, and then Bitcoin went up. We had a double bubble, if you like. Here we had like a buy signal and then another buy signal as we got this other leg up. Boom. So now if we pull down and we go from sort of like the post halving buy signal, which I sent out text messages to all of my friends and family saying buy Bitcoin now, because I knew what was about to happen, then they would have ended up making a 658%. That's not strictly true, sorry. Let's get the thing. Post halving, they would have ended up making, yes, yeah, it was 600, yeah, no, yeah, that's right, yes, it's about a 650% move. Okay, so here we are now. China's closing its mining rigs down, and we've got a capitulation. So does that mean now that we're going to have another buy signal flash up shortly? Well, normally we end up having a bulge where the distance between the top and the bottom line ends up widening out, and then it closes, gets thinner, these two lines cross over, and we get a buy signal. It started thin, it widened out, it came up, we got the buy signal. It started thin, it's widening out, so I'm personally expecting it now to thin out and get another buy signal as we get our next leg up around about sort of, yeah, August time, I would imagine, and then we'll get our next shooting up to major all-time highs and break the 100,000. That's kind of where I think it's going to go. Do you think Bitcoin will come back, or do you think governments have plans to introduce their own digital currencies? We spoke about that earlier on, Grace, and I will do it again because we were talking about Theta, and it's it's not crypto, government-backed digital currency. Okay, so you will see this flashed about everywhere. CBDCs, and that stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And we looked at earlier on. I don't think you're here at the time. Is that the UK? So if I type in there CBDC, Digital Currency Bank of England, Bank of England, look, Ripple, interesting. I said about that being earlier, possible being a mode of transport. Anyway, the Bank of England. I just want their website, to be fair. So there you go. Bank of England, talking about a central bank. This is the CBDC. So earlier on, when you asked that question, do you think that Bitcoin will come back, or do you think governments will have plans to introduce their own digital currencies? They already have. So it says that they haven't decided that whether or not they're going to do it, but they have to do it. The truth is they have to, because the currency at the moment, not the currency, the way that banks are moving money across borders, obviously within the country, like Bank of England, within itself, we're moving money around within England, and that's great. You know, the bank, we've got steel works up in Sheffield, maybe. Arguably, we don't even own BT anymore, isn't ours, and the Queen. Anyway, don't get me started. We don't really have a lot in this country. We're kind of like, you know, it's yeah. Anyway, blur, brain explode. But England moves money around within itself, okay? But ultimately, the biggest way that we end up having an economy is by doing business with external countries, and that's called cross-border payments, obviously. And at the minute, this cross-border payment system is called SWIFT. So you need an IBAN number, a SWIFT code, or an IBAN. There's another one as well, which I can't think of right now. But that is the SWIFT system. So if I type in, if we Google here, how much money is tied up in Swift, and it was TI. That's why I paused. I'm like, tied. Can't spell. In Swift, right? So we'll just question mark that and bring him on. Swift versus Ripple. Yeah, okay, so that's obviously a fight that's interestingly. Guess who the biggest Ripple investor is? The CEO of Swift. He's bought up all the Ripple. Come on, give me the amount. I think it's something like 13 trillion. How much money's tied up in Swift? Just give me the answer. Come on. Google. Alright, it's gonna have to, it'll be on here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. The transactions can take 3 to 5 days. They normally cost about 25-30 quid to send. And yeah, I can't find the answer right now straight away, but no, can't find the answer right now. But it's something like $20 trillion is held up in the Swift pool. So what happens is Gary sends George Akakakwengo in Africa $20, and Mr. Akakakwengo his account, so that he sends it like say $10, but it's going to cost him $25 to send it. So it's going to cost you $35 to send your $10 over to George Akakakwengo, and then Mr. Akakakwengo turns around. His bank has to then request it out of the Swift pool. So you got the sender. Their bank then sends it into the pool. The money goes into the pool, and then Akakakwengo's bank, the Bank of Africa, whichever country in Africa that the guy lives in, right, turns around and has to then request it, right? So you got it has to request it. Now, if that money goes into the pool, into the Swift pool, and Mr. Akakakwengo's bank doesn't try and retrieve the money, then the money stays in the Swift pool and doesn't get returned to sender, which means that this is why there's so much money been in there for decades, where money's been sent. Big oil companies, too much money that they know what to do with. Money's getting put into Swift and not getting recorded and requested. So it's a real source of contention, because obviously all that money that's sat there doing nothing, Swift has got it there, but that could wipe out third world debt. That money could go into cancer research. That money could do a lot of things, a lot of good in the world, but it's not being done. But this is the world that we're living in. Don't get me started on that one. Cheers, by the way. I'm enjoying my Guinness. Came. I blame Thatcher. I tell you what, Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, she was. Oh, what a lady. Yeah, she did. She did close down all the mines. Yeah, absolutely. And Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce Rolls Royce had big problems. They had a massive place in the UK called in Coventry. I think it was Coventry. Massive place that used to do all the turbine blades for the engines. In Coventry, she ended up making loads of people. Well, her government ended up making loads of people redundant because she had a goal that she wanted to achieve that she thought was for the greater good, and ended up causing England a lot of problems. So a lot of people blame Margaret Thatcher for a lot of bad things. But there's a lot of people that like Margaret Thatcher and thought she was a good person. I am really grateful actually to Netflix, because they educated me a little bit. Because I watched on Netflix the family, the royal family. What's it called? The Crown, right? And I watched and it was great. With mining asteroids soon. Yeah. Well, you never know. There might be gold on them asteroids. If there is, send me up in the rocket and I'll be mining the gold. I'll be there with a pickaxe. Do it. Transforming England into a financial services country. Yeah. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So, get rid of this Swift versus Ripple. I don't think there is really a challenge there. Ripple will win all the time. I'm not a massive fan of Ripple because... the whole purpose in cryptocurrency is for it to be decentralized, right? We're trying to get away from centralization, from government's control, from the bank's control of using interest and depreciation of our money and all the rest of it. It's like the people are coming together to fight against the authority, the establishment, to turn around and say, no, we don't have to use the banks. You guys have been ruling over us for too long, and we're going to take the power into our own hands. It's almost like a cryptocurrency could almost be seen as a strike against the world's governments, if you like. And each cryptocurrency, they all do different things. Some are for contracts, some are for to buy artwork, some of them are to they all do different things. And XRP is the enemy. Right? XRP is the enemy. It is a currency not for the people, but more for the banks, right? So if you've got some money and you don't know whether to put it into XRP or Bitcoin, then split it down the middle and have your foot on each side of the fence so that you can turn around. And if XRP ends up winning, then you've got your money in XRP, and if Bitcoin ends up winning, then you've got your money in Bitcoin. Approximately $5 trillion sitting dormant in these accounts around the world. So 5 trillion is it, buddy? Right. Okay. So 5 trillion. Now let's just do that, because I'm just curious now. how much is how do I word this? Let's go for what? What is the debt of the third world Just give me an answer, guys. Come on. Billions. US 1.5 trillion. All you need to know. Politics. Love politics. Really, really like politics. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't agree with politics. Yeah. So okay. So to 1993, it was 300 billion. To US is 1.5 trillion, of which experts say only 4 billion was actually borrowed money. Whatever. It's all just rubbish, and it's absolutely horrendous. But so he's moving up to more closer debts, and they're putting interest on it as well. It's sickening. But my point is, you're only talking billions, like 100 billion. I'm saying only in the grand scheme of things, 100 billion. It's not actually that much money. In the G8 summit, they discussed it back in 1998, but you're talking billions. And if we're just taking Kames, approximately $5 trillion, has obviously looked that up and found the answer. Well done, Kame. 5 trillion. When you look at a few billion versus a trillion, 5 trillion. That's the difference between thousands to millions, tens of thousands to millions. It's a big difference. It's a massive difference. You got another 3 decimal places on that. So yeah, it's massive, and yet that money's just sat there, not being claimed. So that's another lesson into the economy. About what's going on there. So we've discussed loads of things tonight. We've got 5 viewers. I'm quite proud of you 5 viewers for coming in and being with me. I appreciate it. Andy donated £10, which was I got one donation of £1, which was nice. And I got this other donation of £10, which was fantastic. So thank you, Andy. Wasn't expecting anything. Not asking for anything. So don't start sending anything, guys. No need to. But I'm just really grateful that you guys have come on and joined me this evening. Is there anything that you would like me to look into, or anything that you want me to particularly look at, Grace or Andy? I suppose Andy should be my priority right now. I just feel like I owe him something now. And is anybody looking to invest into any particular coin at the moment? I don't think Kame's interested in crypto at the minute. Are you, Kame? Staying away from it. How are we supposed to continue exploiting Africa for their natural resources if we don't keep them in debt forever? This is it. It's nuts. Obviously, the whole world doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, we need one world government, don't we? We need one government that can just turn around and say, you know what? No, we're not having any of this no more. What's that government called? £10 for the answer. Do you think it's also wise to have a farm so you have something where you can grow and trade, just in case we're locked out of this digital currency, to give up our freedom just to use them? That's a really nice idea. Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. In fact, I don't know. Can you see my board? On that list there, I mean, you probably won't be able to zoom in there, but on that list there, I'll tell you what, I'm going to read out my goals, right, for this year. 2021. It did have an amount of bitcoins, right, that I wanted to achieve and trade, okay, but that changed. I achieved the bitcoins, but then ended up moving over to Algorand, so I decided to put an amount of Algorand that I wanted on there, right? Yikes, the Bible talks about one world government, the one world currency. Food for thought. Yes, it does. It does speak about it. Yeah, it does. The Bible does speak about one world currency or one world government, headed by none other than the main man, Jesus Christ, who is a superstar. For you Christians out there, he did a lot of good for us. And I just want to just say that, just separating Jesus from religion, because I think that religion is horrendous, and it's caused war, fighting, bloodshed, and so religion per se is evil, devilish. Don't agree with that, but religion and politics, hey, we're all going down this route. This is supposed to be a crypto channel. We're supposed to be talking about Bitcoin, and now like beers come involved, and now we're talking about politics and religion. Like, I'll start getting the Bible out in a minute and start quoting scriptures on the Messianic kingdom, and start reading scriptures in Revelation and Matthew 24 and stuff. Right, okay, so right, this is my list, right? So I've got Algorand, how much Algorand I wanted to achieve, commercial property. I want my own field and land. Now that's interesting, because you said that, and that's the reason why, yeah? Is what's your Algorand target? Well, that's my bag, man. So I don't want to tell you, and I'm hoping that you haven't got some like supercomputer, because you'll know where I'm at, kind of like with my targets. But I want a good amount. I want hundreds of thousands of yeah. But yeah, I've got to get there. I'm not there. Anyway, yeah, own field. Yeah, I want to bench press 180 key, deadlift. I want to be able to squat 180 key, bench 160 key, and deadlift 250. I'm pretty much there now. That can be clicked off. I want to do an extension on one of my properties. They're really, really good payers, and they've lived there for a long, long time, and I just think that it'd be good to do an extension on that property. So that's something that I want to do. But after looking over here about the price of and the cost of building works, it's not something that I'm looking at doing right now. And I'm hoping that things are going to have this big crash whilst Bitcoin goes through the roof, and then I can take out some Bitcoin or some Algorand, right? Yeah, so that's it. Block paving. I wanted to block pave all the front of my house, so that I got like a nice driveway for the cars and the vans and stuff. Managed to get all that achieved, so that was ticked off. Start a family, because I'm getting on a bit now. Public relations skills, having ADHD and being a bit crazy and thinking outside the box a little bit. I'm very impetuous, impulsive. I'm like a triangle that doesn't fit into the rectangle box of society. So I'm just a little bit, I'm like Marmite. You either like me or you hate me. But you know what? It was that ADHD of which, as long as I take my Ritalin and my methylphenidate, I'm okay. But yeah, so that's as long as I take my Ritalin, right? I'm gonna also subscribers dropped, none, right? Yeah, so so having ADHD kind of helps you think outside the box a little bit, but it also made me at the beginning when I started trading make me lose money by being impulsive, and therefore making me learn the hard way, and which is one of the three main ways you learn. You either learn by other people's mistakes, you learn by your own mistakes, or you learn by there's a third one which I can't think of right now, but I'll come back to you in a sec. What else we got? My bricklaying skills. I do a little bit of property maintenance occasionally when my back can hold out, and I'm alright. And I'm an alright bricklayer, but I'd like to be better. And my childhood mate, like my best friend, even better than Andy Goodlad, who's donated £10 to me today. Bless up. He's a bricklayer and he's flipping awesome, and I kind of hoping that at some point I'll be able to go out with him and he can teach me a little bit more. Helped him with his extension, and he sent me a picture of the bit of bricklaying that I did, and I thought, yeah, that looks pretty tight. I'm quite happy with that. But ultimately, I want to be a better bricklayer. Anyway, buying another house, of course, that's always on the list. Buying houses is always a good investment. Losing fat, yeah, weightlifting, and then stopping a little bit, and then weightlifting and stopping a little bit, and then doing the odd on the pads, and and then you just stop for a little while, and then it goes on the belly, doesn't it? And you think, well, I could see like a 4-pack at one point, and now I've got no pack. Forget 2-pack. 2-pack's dead. I've now got no pack. All right. Well, I got a 1. I just got a 1. It's not even a pack. It's just a 1. This is my belly. Reduce my back pain because I've got back pain. More jam sessions. I'm a musician. For those of you that don't know, I play the guitar and sing. And there are another 2. Fit a kitchen. I wanted to fit a new kitchen, because the kitchen when I moved in here was awful. I've done the kitchen, that can be ticked off. It already is, actually. And there's another 2 which are personal, which I won't want to share with you guys. So yeah. But that's it. So squatting 160 with a dodgy back. I know, mate, but that's no. I'm saying yeah, it is. But that's why, like, I've got quite a big chest, and obviously being able to bench. I mean, I've got 150 on the bench out the back there, and I can get on that now and bench that for a couple of presses. So having a big chest and well, you know, my arms are the same size as my head. So having this big top half, and then, you know, your legs. If you don't train your legs, then you just look like an idiot if you're wearing shorts. So yeah, you've got to train legs, haven't you? So that's why you squats. And to be honest with you, it builds up a good core. Andrew, good lad, he's laughing at me saying, trust me, he doesn't stop, mate. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at some of your messages. What's your Algorand target? So that was no offense there, crypto trader, but Algorand is my baby, and yeah, that's where I want to be ultimately. So if I tell you that, then you get an idea about where I am financially, and or where I want to be financially, and that will that I think that's a security risk a little bit. Hang on. Grace mentioned Jesus. No, the non-Jesus. There's another one. The world currency, the non-Jesus, the Antichrist. The man's number 666, found in Revelation 666. This is the man's number. Okay. Stop being silly. We have world pseudo government. A pseudo government. They woefully crippled. What is your algo target? What's my target? Sorry, did I get that wrong? Yeah, I'm so sorry, buddy. Okay, cool. Hey, game. Hey, I'm game. Okay, cool. Doesn't start him on that. Haha, don't start him on that. Good to live in reality. Grace fan, nice dude. Can I have an extension on my property too, mate? Andy, good lad. Yes, you can, mate. Keep sending over those £10 and I'll sort you out a nice property. You're going to have to give me a few more noughts on that 10 though, buddy. But yeah, still love you for sending it me over. Thank you very much. It makes tonight, what have we been on here? Nearly 3 hours, so you can split that up. There you go, £3 an hour. I'm on the minimum wage, yeah? With all these houses that I've got and all this money that I'm earning and all the rest of it. Funny. Okay, good to live in reality. Yes, nice dude. Again, all good. Keep goals in mind. Yes, that's why I've written them down. That's if you know, for life hacks and all the rest of it. If you write the goals down, you write what it is that you want to achieve down, then yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good question to come back. What is your Algorand target? Sorry, crypto trade. I'll come back to that. Yeah, definitely. Don't start him off. Good in reality. Nice dude. Can have an extension. All good. Keep goals in mind. Yeah, Lord willing. Haha. Wrong girl can ruin everything. No hurry, bro. That is very rare. Haha. What is? Squatting 160 with a dodgy back. Yeah, sorry about that. Better to buy property cash or have a loan and rent until paid off. Yeah, you know, it depends whether you're looking for. It depends your age. Depends on your age. Depends on your health condition, and depends what it is you're trying to achieve. Now, if you've got, say, 10 properties, and they're on a buy-to-let interest only, and you're only paying, I don't know, a couple of £100 a month, and but the income is £1,000 a month, so you're getting, you know, 5-10 grand a month coming in, but your outgoings are only £1,000 a month of you know, or maybe 2 grand a month. So you're living on 8-10 grand a month there. That's a lot of money, you know. That's 120 grand a year, isn't it? And yeah, so I don't skip leg day. No, I do not skip leg day. My mate Bill, who I train with, will skip to that. I mean testify to that. Yeah, Lord willing. Okay. So better to buy. So yeah, better, just going back to that, Grace, if you want the immediate benefit right now, then it's better to buy on interest only and live off the money right now. So you're renting your house out for £1,000 a month, but your mortgage is only £200 a month because you're paying interest only, and that the goal is that in 30 years time, 40 years time, when you come to want to retire, if you're young enough to like retire at that age, I don't know, you know, where we are and how old we all are, but if you want to retire in 20, 30, 40 years, then your house might be worth £150,000 now, for argument's sake, but in 20, 30 years time, it should be worth 300,000. It should have doubled at least. Then you'll be able to sell your house for 300,000 or 400,000 and then pay off a couple of mortgages. When you come to retire, you sell one of your house and you'll pay 2 or 3 houses off with one of your houses. Now, even though the house is still at the price, the mortgage is still at the price where you bought it from, you're kind of banking. Again, this is kind of trading, but not in cryptocurrency, but in the housing market, you're kind of banking on the fact that you will have the houses go up in value, and therefore you'll be able to pay off the houses after it's, you know, hopefully doubled or trebled in value, and then pay them off. And that's the kind of game that you might want to, if you want to have the benefits right now. And it's that shrewdness that I saw at a young age, where I wanted to get into the housing market and have houses. So that's what I did. I went out there and I ruthlessly earned money, worked really, really hard, and ended up getting into the housing sector and buying and doing up houses. So, and that's got me into the position now where I can chill back and not have to work too hard. Apart from today was an extremely hard day. So yeah, that's that. I have a spinal fusion. I feel you with back pain. You have a fine. I'm so sorry. That's something that the doctors wanted to do to me. They said, yeah, we can give you spinal fusion, but you might not be able to walk if we hit like your traversing nerve or whatever as we're going through, and like there's a like 5% chance you'll never walk again or whatever. And I'm like, 5%. That's I don't like them odds, even if it's only 5%. I don't like them odds. So and he said that if you have that S1L5, your very first vertebrae fused, and your disc taken out and kind of fused together, then the stress will then go. What would normally go on that disc will then go onto your L4, L5, lumbar 4, lumbar 5 disc, and then that will end up starting to bulge and then go. And it is already showing signs of disc degeneration. So he said to me, I would wait until you can't stand no more. And at that point, I was already in a wheelchair with my wife at the time. And it was an awful part of my life that I don't want to relive. But thankfully now I can go out and walk around. So yeah, mate, even your computer is telling you to stop buying Apple. To stop buying Apple and get Samsung. Give over, man. So Andy, good lad. This guy, man, he's a lover of PCs, right? He's just an avid. He's anything anti-Apple, right? He doesn't like Apple. I mean, you give him an apple and he'll just throw it away and he'll eat a pear. Like anything Apple related, he doesn't want to know, right? So anyway, so he's all about PCs. So you've got it up at the wow, that's really high. So you must have had pains going down your arms then up there. So the traversing nerves going along the thoracic L3, L4. If that's where you've had your fusion, then it's up kind of in between your shoulders, kind of, and your neck up there, kind of the top part. Then it would have, I can't imagine how that was. I'm so sorry. Wait until the robots can fix you back. Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe Dogecoin can get a robot built with Elon Musk and get some little cyborg like nanoprobes, nanobots, and go in there and fix them. And whilst I'm joking, if there's any of you out there that are Star Trek fans, not Star Wars, Andy, good lad. If any of you guys that are out there that are Star Trek fans, you'll know that there is a species called the Borg, and they assimilate. Okay, so same osteoporosis as well. Oh, you poor thing. So your spine's giving it a bit of an S shape, and you're a little bit to one side. Wow. Nice. I'll pray for you, bro. That's really kind. And and the same as since surgery at 14, neck has taken most of it since then. And pain down arms. I thought you might have. And anybody who's sort of like L5 down, L1 down, they end up getting sciatica. either into their butt cheek or down the back of the leg into the. This is a crypto thing. We're talking about health. I'm not a doctor. All good though. Wait for genetics to fix for scoliosis. Yes, yeah, scoliosis. It's on my MRI as well. So yeah, we're all in really bad shape. This is why I go to the gym. This is why I push weights. Is to try and get my core, all of me, strong, so that when I'm walking, I don't end up having compression on my discs. So yeah, that's awful, man. That's a backwards S. That's like what's a backwards S? It's not a dollar sign. It's not a number 5. It's nothing, is it? Tell it to clear off and do one. Tell it you don't want it. All right, so we've got 5 viewers. You all must think I'm absolutely crazy, or you've got me on silent. I don't know. What time is it? Goodness me, it's half past 10 at night. I was gonna have another swig of this. Hang on. Okay, so let's have a look. It's interesting because obviously the evening is moving on, which means the weekend is moving on. So as we look at charts, I'll come back to I'll try to do the Tai Chi. Tai Chi, very good. Tai Chi, it's a nice tea that is. Tai Chi's good. Tai Chi's good. Right, so each one of these candles at the minute, I'm on the daily, but what I was saying, I noticed this trend line, guys, going back to the COVID dump. Then we had it sat as support, and then resistance here, and then resistance here, and then when we did break through it, we've now come down, and we're sat on the line here on the daily. When we go to the weekly, it's even more pronounced. But you guys aren't really into Bitcoin, are you? Crypto trade, I know that you are. Yeah, but it's still the same. It's a lesson for everybody, really, and that is that. Just go and do that in a sec. Yeah, and that is that when you look at the charts, it doesn't matter whether you're looking at commodities, golds, precious metals, and things, cryptocurrencies, stocks, whatever. You still do technical analysis in the same way. So when you're starting to learn these things, everything apart from this hash ribbons, which won't apply to anything else apart from Bitcoin. Yeah, so this is a little bit concerning, the fact that we're closing. I mean, we've still got 2 days left. I'd like to think that Bitcoin's up for a rally up a little bit so that we can make a nice close above this trend line which I've drawn. Yeah, so that, yeah, who knows what's going to happen with it. You know, we've got no sort of volume to bring the price up, and the S&P 500, which we looked at earlier on. Sometimes there's a correlation between Bitcoin, and if you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago we had this big drop. 6 days ago we had the big drop. So then you go to Bitcoin, and that's the world's top companies, and then you go 5 days ago to Bitcoin. Yo,
check your camera angle, man.
What am I doing? Thanks, man.
No worries.
You know the cheers, dude. You know the weather girls, like those girls that do the weather channels and everything. They go over here is the clouds coming in and the pressure settling in from the north to the west or whatever. Well, I'm now moving my hand right, and it's going left on the monitor. So earlier on when I was like trying to press the buttons on the screen to show you how to buy and sell crypto, it was like impossible almost. Anyway, yeah, thanks for that, bud. And yeah, so yeah, 5 days ago we ended up seeing that big dump on the S&P 500, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago we ended up having this dump. Six was this big dump. It went up and then dumped again. So it wasn't just that. It was like cryptocurrency crashed, and then the next day we ended up getting all the world's economy ended up crashing. That was weeks. Hang on a minute, days. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the sixth day of Christmas, on the sixth day we ended up dumping down and then having this hard dump. And then on the SPY, I'll just bring him up here because I've got a feeling I'll be flipping between these two. And then so that's Bitcoin, that's the SPY. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 5 days ago. So 6, yeah, kind of on the sixth day and then on the fifth day. So 5 and 6 days ago, correlated to Bitcoin really. Them two there. So they are Bitcoin and the industries of the world are still related. They're still related, regardless of what anybody says. There's still yeah. Cheers! Can't wait for the next one. Kame, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for sticking around. Really kind of you. So do you think it's better to find the coins on sale and then learn to trade them for better positions? Okay, so yes and no, and it all depends. This is one of the things I was going to speak about earlier, but unlike the donkey from Shrek, can't stay on one topic at a time. But this is the coin market cap that I think that you should have as a beginner, intermediate, and an advanced crypto trader. I think that it's a very important chart to have up. What it does is it tells you the positions of market cap. Now, what you've got to do is look at the coins to get the market cap and work it out. You get the coins, the supply of coins. Now, in Bitcoin, there are 18,742,575 bitcoins in circulation, right? And each bitcoin is worth 31,937. Okay, so that's how many bitcoins there are, and that's the price of Bitcoin. So if you get 18,742 and times that by 31,948, you'll get the market cap, which is 595 million. No, yeah. Let me get this right. My maths, I'm no good at maths. All right, so there you go. So that's a million. That's 100 million. So that's got to be billions, right? Isn't that billions? Is that 595 billion, 420 million, 760,345? Round of applause for me and my GCSE failure. In cryptocurrency. So that's the market cap, and it's the same for all of the others. So if we end up going right down, let's just drag him down and kind of go to, like, I don't know, 100. Let's go for this one here, or the OMG. Let's go for this one because it's the 100, right? So the circulating supply is 61,632,764. So if you get that in your calculator and times that by its price, so 61,632,764 times $8.20, your calculator will come out with that, and that will be the market cap. So that's how they work out market cap, and that's what this is. It's the coin market cap. So Bitcoin's coin market cap is the strongest by far. It's the coin market cap here, and therefore it's at number one. Everything else is compared to it, and it's not until something else overtakes Bitcoin, if ever that is to happen, that then Bitcoin will then be related to that instead of this being related to the price of Bitcoin. Because if I go into Bitcoin, I was going to show you. I was going to go into Bitcoin. Don't worry about it. I can't remember what I was going to say. Right. So yeah. So in answer to your question, do you think it's better to find the coins that are on sale and then learn to trade them for better positions? Yes, I do. I do definitely think that. Now there is risk to reward, and that is that if you end up being in a coin whereby you are, say, right down there on that 100 mark, well, in actual fact, I would say anything below the 50 is high risk. So 56 is getting on to higher risk, although Chiliz is roaring through everything at the minute. It's overtaken Elrond, and that's great. So Chiliz is actually doing good. But the higher down this market cap, bear in mind this is only page 1, and there's 55 pages, so 5,500. Yeah, it's 5,500, and then it goes on after that as well. Yeah. So and then you got Voyager token. Voyager. Yeah, cool. And then it goes on. So the higher down this you go, the more the chances are of, like, if you find one and it's a genuine project. I could make my own token. I can make my own website just by using templates, and it would only take me a few hours to build up Tony token. Right, it's not difficult to do that, but and then to stick it on Ethereum's mainnet, and that's it. It's kind of it'll be there then, and to be able to be bought and sold on the Ethereum blockchain. And yeah, so if I can do that by just using templates and I can build websites using templates, and I've got no computer. I'm not illiterate, but I'm not a computer programmer by any means. If I can do that, then so can a lot of these that are so far down on CoinMarketCap that you end up going to pages 55. And then you got these ones here that are so far down. When you turn around and say, is it better to use ones that are on sale? Well, this one here is down. This Rush Moon is down, 55%. So you say, well, okay, if it's down 55%, then that's on sale. The problem is, it's so far down on market cap. This guy's name might be Tony Wright. It might be me that's made this coin, and I'm just hoping that loads of people are going to start investing in it and stick it up there in like some nice fancy website, and then get it stuck on all of the conventions that are held on cryptocurrency and everything. Get people to buy into it, thinking it's the best thing since sliced bread, and then pull the rug on them and take their money. Of course, I wouldn't do that, but I'm also I wouldn't make my own currency because it's something that I'm not interested in doing, and so there we go. But there is absolute risk of the rug being pulled. So to go into these ones here, these are the ones that you'll 400, 500, 600x your money. You stick £1,000 in there, and you could very easily make $1 million in a couple of years if you choose the right one. But when you're down here in these areas of thousands down at market cap, you're talking about people that are half of them will be just some fat slobs that are in a cellar, that are just looking to just rip people off and scam people or whatever. Yeah, so and I'm not in a cellar, so you're safe. So what I would say, Grace, is yes, it's a good idea, but I would stick to currencies that are in the top 50. Because generally speaking, they wouldn't be in the top 50 unless they were strong coins, because the only way they get in the top 50 is by people investing in them and then being around for quite some time. So stick with the top 50, and generally speaking, you'll be okay. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose, and be patient. Be patient. Don't think and get scared when we have a big drop and think, no, I'm losing all my money. We've all just done that. Those of us that are hodling our Bitcoin or our Algorand on our hard wallets and stashing them ready for a good day, our balances have gone down literally half. It's gone down half on Bitcoin. My Bitcoin fiat value is halved. I had X amount 6-7 weeks ago, and now my balance is half. Am I anxious? Not in the slightest. I promise you, I'm not in the slightest interested. It doesn't bother me. I'm not phased in the least. But when I first started, I would be feeling physically sick. I didn't even have this amount what I've got now through trading. But I wouldn't have been able to sleep. Literally panic attacks and everything. So yeah, I would say buy some of these that are down sort of above 50, above 40. If I just go down here, ones that I personally like and would be sort of interested in looking at. Is that going to move over? No, it's not. Luna. I own some Luna, so I'll just be transparent here. If I'm going to be transparent, let's go up to kind of here somewhere. Okay. I've got a little bit of engine. I'd say 2% my portfolio. 7%. I've got a big chunk on that. But don't go and do anything silly because I've said that. Because yeah, just don't. Maker, Tezos, Neo, Aave, Algorand. I've already told you that's where I love Algorand. DAI is a good coin. DAI is a good stable coin because they give you high rewards. Theta, love Theta. It's at a good price at the minute, I believe. Polygon, got a nice bag of Polygon given to me by somebody who is very close to me now, is a close friend. Made me a promise that if I make him some money, he would give me some money, and he gave me some money, and I've moved that money into Polygon. So very grateful to him, and he knows who he is, and he might even be listening into this channel. I'm not sure. Chainlink, very good. Litecoin is one of those. I think it's a dark horse. I think it's a sleeping beauty, and will come good for those that have managed to hold this long onto it. I do believe that. It's been around. It's on all the exchanges. It's been around since the beginning, and it is fast compared to its rather is okay. Yeah, Polkadot, very good. XRP, don't want to say it, but yeah, that's a good price. That is a good price. Dogecoin, again, don't want to say it because it's a meme coin, but a little bit, 2% maybe of what you want to invest in. Cardano, excellent, very good actually. Binance Coin, very good. If we look at Binance Coin actually, just while I'm here, look at Binance Coin on here. BNB, where are you? BNB. Come on. There you go. BNB to Bitcoin. That's not really what I want though. Okay, let's get that over to. Let's get to the charts. Let's just bring. Let's just bring up. It's a spanner. Bring up BNB. Not BB. BNB USD. And we'll bring up the Binance, and it'll be at the bottom now. There you go. I just wanted to show you that really, considering, what did we say 6 days ago? We had the big dump, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 days ago, we ended up having a 20% drop, right? And now we're almost back to where we came down. There's only like probably 6 or 7% there by the looks of it. From the top, this is like the opening. We closed down there. I appreciate that, but from the opening of that day to where we are now, we were at 7.9%. So we've recovered really quickly up to the open today, and then we'll just see what happens today. This would have been a great entry. Normally we find that we end up getting like we did here, would have been a great entry. This is what the Bollinger Bands do. They have a squeeze, and then they'll wick in, and then give you kind of an entry point. Yeah, the weekly is showing that we're below the 20 SMA. Okay, right. So, pardon me. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that BNB didn't actually make massive lows. I mean, if we get another really strong, like Cardano, for example, is really strong, and then we look at where that dropped from. So we got 20%, didn't we say? 20% on BNB, and then we go 30% on down to the wick, it was the wick we did on the BNB. We got 30%. So BNB actually held up better than Cardano did, and Algo, that's Algo BNB. But yeah, you get the gist of it. You look at all the others. Chiles versus the pound. It's okay. It's not the dollar, but I just can't be bothered to get the dollar chart up. That went down 40%. So BNB, you can see that actually it held its own quite well, and I think the reason why mostly is because of them releasing their new update on the for the NFTs. They're doing really well at the minute, so I can see this swapping over and switching very soon now. As we start to gain traction, as Bitcoin moves up, people will be taking their money out of Tether and putting it back into Bitcoin as Bitcoin goes up. Other than that, people are leaving it in Tether because of what I said earlier about people putting their money into something that's going to gain them traction, going to gain them APY, annual percentage yield. So yeah, that's good. Ethereum is obviously we've got discounts. So the last 7 days we're down 16%, and Bitcoin. So obviously the further up the list, the less risk of the asset. There we go. Oh no, is the value based on function then? I don't understand that. I don't understand your question, Grace. Thanks, Tony. That's all right. Is the value based on function? Is the value based on function? No. If you're asking me, is the value of the coin based on what it does? By function, you mean its function, it's what it does. Then no, it isn't based on its function. It's based on its usability to the function that it does. So Bitcoin as Binance coin has done so well because on Binance network there are NFTs. There are contracts that it is all encompassing coin. It's Binance are very clever. They've released a great coin there. Yeah. So what is best platform to buy and trade outside the UK? Coinbase. Outside the UK, is it Coinbase? So Grace, where are you? Do you have Binance where you are? I mean, can you get into Binance? And when you say trade, what do you mean by trade? Because I'm just going to get onto here for a sec and then get that to big. When you say trade, do you mean like margin trade, where you're borrowing money off of the exchange to be able to put in more money for you, and kind of like have a margin trade or a leverage trade where you borrow money from them, and if it goes up 2% and you've got like a 4x leverage, then it's actually gone up 8% and you make that money, or vice versa, you can short it. States. Okay, you're in the States. So do you have Binance? I haven't looked. I will. Good. Binance does. I'm almost certain to the point of being fairly certain. Yes, it does. So why is there 3 billion circulation supply when there is 5.5 in Algo Explorer? Don't know, buddy. Let's explore. Let's go on a lion hunt. So let's bring up. So we'll get CoinMarketCap up. We'll go to Algorand and see what we're saying on here. Some would argue that that CoinMarketCap isn't so accurate because it's manipulated a little bit and not quite that accurate, and that CoinGecko is better. But I've also heard vice versa true. So if I get my calculator. And the thing is Algorand is always changing, because with every transaction there has burn. So you know, you can never turn around and say the true you know, market cap, the true what its market cap is. So the circulation is 3.09 billion. Hang on a minute. 309. This calculator won't do it. This is the calculator that I use for my little bits. You're making me get my my scientific calculator out now. And I think, no, I do have it here. We're good. Okay, let me just work this out. One moment. I've got 5 viewers. I'm going to come back and there's only going to be 3. Let me just work this out. Right, 3 billion. 309 billion. can't see it. There it is. Where's the FN button to get into that mode? Just trying to bring it over to logarithmic. And now it's doing all sorts of funky things on me. Do you know what the best thing to do is? Use my iPhone calculator, because it actually goes down up to that many people. Right, okay, got some text messages come in as well. Cool, thank you. Yo, bro, what do you know? Okay, so, there we go. Let's turn that on its side. Are you still with me, guys? Still got 5 views, this is good. Okay, 309 billion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 point. That's 309 billion. And that's not what we want. We just want to bring one of them off. So 309. 309. So that's 390 million. 3.09 billion. Right, there we go. 3.9 billion divided by this should give us the right market cap, right? If I'm doing it right. 0. Wait for me. It's not right. It's times by 0.7985 equals 2467 in coin market cap. It should say 2467365, and on there it says 2470. And I've got 2467, so it's close enough. It's close enough. So according to the that's where we are. So, and you're saying total supply was 55, circulation. Why is there so big a difference? 3 billion supply. Yeah, so we agree that circulation when there is 5.5 in Algo Explore. I don't know, but on the I have a friend on the Telegram who is an Algorand master, and yeah, he's the I think he's the generator of the group. If you go onto Telegram, he's one of the admins, and I wouldn't mind asking him that question. In fact, what I'm going to do is ask him that myself, and then I'm going to come back to you on that, because I don't know the answer, but I have no doubt that if I go on Algo Explore, I will see that. So I'm just getting my phone, and I'm now taking a picture, and I'm going to ask him that tomorrow, and I'm going to come back to you on that one, crypto trader. That's a really good question. All right, so why is there? Grace Foundation, Rocky and Hunter are on live if y'all want to check it out. Rocky and Hunter. Is Hunter oh, cool. He's doing a live stream, is he? Let's have a look. Let's check out Rocky. So let's go on to YouTube and go on to that's me. That's Rocky. Here we go. Let's have a look at Rocky. Let's pull up some volume as well.
Answering on a brand new webinar.
Oh, shut up.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Nice, relaxed.
Open to give you a nice.
Taking it very, very easy and catching up with all of you. And just
catching up with all of you.
And talking topics. Talking
topics.
Such as
AMC
and GME.
And GME.
And anything else that you'd like to talk.
Anything else that you like to talk? I'm doing an Irish accent. I can't help go Irish. Skip straw.
Who's that guy?
This guy's awesome. I do love this guy. Right. See where he's at. So is he quite literally? He does. Those of you that don't know, does he's not live. Whoa! Somebody gave him $100. That's awesome. Another person gave him $100. I wish I was there. I'd give him 101. This is old. Okay, let's go back. It's live. Live. Is this the one? There is a live one, I think. It says he's live now. I'll click on him. I think it's finished. He's rolling out the credits anyway.
Lee Willis, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. I'll be seeing you again soon.
Soon.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. He blows a kiss. I got you, bro. Love the kiss. Right. Nice. It would be nice if you'd jump in and come and say hello and say hi and support me here in this Tony Writes Crypto. And he might join us. He might see that I'm live and say, yo, I'm going to go and give Tony a shout. But that was good to see him. Refresh. You want me to refresh? Wait, there's the refresh the homepage. I mean,
thank you so much, Harry.
Refresh the list. All right, okay. Let's go into here and refresh the list. Me, him, streamed an hour ago. Yeah, it's still there.
I think that you're a pure satire.
Pure satire. Yeah, he's finished. He's gone. Oh, but who are you saying that he was joined with? Hunter.
So if it's at this stage from the lows to the highs, we've come to Lee Willis.
Not sure.
Thank you so much. Really do
Cool.
appreciate it.
I'm not sure.
Again.
Yeah, soon.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Cool. Right. AV80. Why didn't he join me? He could have come and said hello. AV, where you gone, man? I thought I had you. This guy's good. This guy's good. I watched this guy.
Welcome back to Crypto
I'm
Talks.
George. We're all George.
We're all George.
Yeah, this guy's good.
Today,
If
the point is
I watch this guy quite a lot. Crypto hours. He does a lot of You're asking me about different altcoins, and that's what this guy does. He looks into different altcoins, and is it any good to what altcoins is an altcoin guy? He's all about altcoins. Throw the link in the Discord. Threw it into the Discord. The dude Jamie was talking to from LA the other day. All good. Thanks for the advice with this. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, check this guy out. Crypto Auras. I'm gonna give it one more go, Grace, and see. And if not, then I'm gonna either sort of call it a day or right. Let's call it a day. Call it a night. No. Rocky has definitely stopped. If I go onto Rockyoutcrops, because it would come up, you see, saying that he's live, and yeah, this is finished. It's not saying that he's live, so I'm afraid Rocky's stream has ended, and there is no doubt about it. No, I'm not even going to try and do a Scottish accent. Scottish. No doubt. No doubt. No, I just can't do it. Just can't do a Scottish accent. No doubt about it. Longshanks. Is that all you got? Yeah. Grace found out. You just subscribed after all this time. You've only just subscribed. Oh, you've subscribed to him, you mean? Okay, that's cool. That's alright. That's cool. Yeah, no, he's good. He is good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go back and check that out then. Yeah, that'll definitely be a good video to look into. Okay, yeah, good night. Good night, Crypto Trader. Thanks for staying all this time, mate. I mean, it's been 3 hours, 3.5 hours of live stream, so, yeah. Oh, it's the Hunter's site. Bless you. It was on there, was he? All right, okay. I put him on the link on your Discord. All right, let's go on the Discord. Have a look. So, did you put it in the general? On the Discord? Neverland chat? No. Don't want to go onto there. No, go away. Go away. Go away. No. No. Right, thank you. Right, okay, here we go. Boom. I'm looking for your link that you've put down here. Thanks, bro. No problem. But I am looking for your link and I can't find it. I don't know where you've written it. Yeah, don't know where it is. But okay, never mind. Cool. So with that, I'm going to call it a night, I guess. It's been 3.5 hours. Those of you that have stayed with me all this time, I have the utmost respect for you all. Thank you so very much. You know, at the beginning, it's, you know, it's hard not to take things personally. You have one person, they subscribe, and you feel great because you got another subscriber, and then you end up, you might lose one, and then you feel like, well, why did I lose one? What did I say? You know, what is it about me? Is it my personality? I don't, you know, I feel really, you know, so you get affected. And it only takes people to like your page or put a comment down saying thank you or keep going or whatever, and then that's kind of spurs you on. So whilst I'm not doing it to get any financial monetary value out of it, to get kind of likes and people looking into it, then it's fantastic. And obviously Andy giving me that was very nice of him, so that was good. Alchemist, I thought you were going out. Grace, hang on a sec. Copy. Paste. Ah, okay. Cool. All right. I understand now. I understand. Sorry. Okay, cool. You're that in Discord. Okay. So if I go into home and then go down to interesting. Okay, so nope. Is it in the Discord? Is it in Rocky's Discord? The tea room. Your testimony is awesome. That's your life. Yeah, thanks very much. That's very kind. I'm the Alchemist in your Discord. Okay, so they're going to my Discord. And oh, hey, Alchemist, welcome. Okay, I've got your welcome there, so I can see you. But I can't see anything on here highlighted to say that there is anything. Have a good one. Don't work too hard. No, I'm finishing up now. Yeah, so your Discord, dude. Yeah, I'm on my Discord, and I can't see you putting anything on any of my work. What's that one? Trading. Nope. And nope. And nope. And nope. And nope. And nope. Tutorials. In the general. Okay, here we go. General. I'm now on general. There you go. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. This is the bottom. And there's nothing here. I'm going to say hello. There we go. At Alchemist. Tag you in. Pine Sparrow, they subtract the staked amount, which are coins that are locked. He's already gone, buddy. Pine Sparrow, he's already gone, but that's a really, really interesting point, is that they don't take that into account on coin market cap. They don't take into account the fact that the staked coins. Okay, there you go. That's the answer. It says Jackson Hunter in the general. I'm in general. You see, general, and it says Jackson Hunter. No. Oh, here. Yes. Yep. Thank you. I understand now. It's the link. Is he live now? He's live. So why didn't it come up? Oh, it's because it's on Jackson Hunter's. Got ya. Okay, cool. Way pushed way higher. That's fucked off. He's just relentless. He's just relentless. But I love the guy. I love the guy. And I'm not one to swear, but I do love the guy. Extraction Hunter, yeah, it is. Yeah. You're looking right at it. I know. That's cool. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. It does. It does on the 1 hour chart. That's great. Alright guys, I've got 7 viewers. Why is it I'm about to call off and call out for the night, and now I've got viewers are starting to increase as I'm saying goodbye. Do I stay on? I don't know what to do now. So you viewers that have come on in the last few minutes, we've covered a lot today. We've covered the Algorand Theta TA. We've looked at the cost of building and the price of materials. We've also covered the Krakonosh and how hackers are using gamers on Grand Theft Auto and all these victims, and that there was so many million cheated out, which was interesting. Just shows that we're not safe and we need to have our two-factor authentication on, and etc. Looked into the Algorand network and what it does, the SOV, the fact that it works with USD and USDC, the fact that it's just a flipping awesome project, the first pure proof of stake. Okay, so yeah, so that's cool. We don't need that anymore. And we've looked at the way the economy works. And yeah, S&P 500 and the fact that that took a dip the other day when Bitcoin lost its value as well, when all the alts started to bleed off at the same time. And we have looked at the fact that the fiat currency that we use now is based on a promise, and that you could go and get a Mercedes-Benz, if you like, and get promised that there would only be 5 super Mercedes-Benz of this particular model made, and then you buy it on that basis, but then you find that Mercedes manufacture another 200,000 of the same car, and you were promised that there would only be 5 of them made. How would you feel? You'd feel cheated. You'd feel that this car that you've bought that would have an intrinsic value and go up in value over the years has actually, they've just created another 200,000 of them. In an actual fact, now the value of the car new is far less than you bought it for, because of and that's exactly what the situation is now, with them printing off all of the money in stimulus money. I think we worked it out as being $15 trillion. $15 trillion, probably up to getting around about the $20 trillion now in stimulus money that they printed out of thin air. Absolutely nothing, just like they can make the... we've just put the world to rights. No, you still there, Charlie? Are you actually still there with me, bro? This guy Charlie is a guy who works for me occasionally, and we did a really long day today, so this Guinness is on you, buddy. Thank you. Or you, Andy, who donated a tenner, which I'm very grateful for. Okay, so one viewer has just dropped. So as soon as I mentioned work, it's like, no, it's Friday, I don't want to work, I'm going to bed. What time is it? Oh, I'm in the UK and it is 7:15. Who else is watching? And what is there anything that you want me to look into? Anything that you want me to look into while I'm here? I can see that my curtain is looking a little bit off. See? On the green screen. So there we go, it's better. Yeah, who else have we got on? Andy Goodlad, haha. It's only messed up, bro, because you came and moved it. Andy's doing a late shift with me, like to be my IT guy. We messed up earlier, or I messed up earlier, and then had to get Andy to come and sort it out because my live stream links didn't work. I was trying to get OBS working and it all messed up, so yeah. Who have we got here? So we've got Andy, who's still watching. We've got Charlie, who's still watching. That's great. Grace said that they go. We've got Pine Sparrow. I'm not pardon me, I'm not au fait with you Pine Sparrows, but it seems to me that you know what you're talking about. Therefore, if one knows what I'm talking about, who are you? Where have you come from? And Pine Sparrow, I don't see you being on my Discord. Please sign up and send me a DM and tell me who you are. Or do I know you? Are you on my friends list? Nope. Nope. I don't have that many friends, so I would know you. Although the name rings a bell from somewhere. Are you still on? Yeah, cool. That's it. I've got 5 viewers. I just don't know who you are, and I don't know what to say. So I'm guessing that you... Is there any questions that you want to know about anything that's not personal or crude before I shut out the stream at 3 hours and 42 minutes? It's so easy to go on, you know, and just talk. And I'm not even talking with anybody because, like, there's nobody else in the room. They say that's the first signs of insanity, don't they? And the second signs is when you start answering yourself back. Isn't it, Tony? It is. You're right. It is. What did you have for lunch? Well, didn't really stop for lunch. We had a McDonald's, and then we ended up sort of stopping and coming home, and then mate bought me some McDonald's. Some KFC. Was it nice? Yeah, it was alright, you know. Bit greasy. Still out in the gazebo. Probably find yourself go there and you have a go at another couple of legs of chicken. Okay. Do you know what? Is it about time I left? I think it's about time I left. Guys, thank you so much for staying with me as long as you have done. I am going to call it a night now and say thank you so much again. Thank you. And I mean that genuinely. It's only been, so I think the most viewers that we had this evening is 7 or 8. And yeah, and a lot of you stayed around, so I'm really grateful. And whilst this is only the beginning, I anticipate lots more to come in the future. TA is something that I enjoy, and I've got a passion for it. And yeah, so throw the TA my way and let me look into things. And that's it. With that, I'm going to say thank you again. Thank you. And I will say goodnight. Finally, and this is the final answer, I'm going to say goodbye. In 5, 4, do more streams.